Hello, BB Gangsters. This is Calvin, also known as Romer, and this is Genshin Impact. And today we're going to be doing something that I probably should have done a while ago, but I'm glad that we still have some stuff to do in this game, and that is a hangout with a certain pirate whose name I mispronounce every 2 seconds. We could fly over here, but we might as well warp over here. Probably makes more sense if it will let us warp over here. Yes, it does, and we go right into the cutscene.
Well, would you look who's here? Looks like it's going to be a day to remember. Guys, look who the sea washed up.
Beidou, by the way. Sorry, I realized I called her a pirate who I've always mispronounced the name, which I do. So apologies for that.
Ahoy there, traveler. So Captain really did invite you to join the homecoming celebration.
This is kind of like cute, right? That everyone's kind of like happy to see us.
Hey, I heard that you took care of another crisis while you were in Inazuma. Are the rumors true?
Oh my god, this is how long ago I should have done this, by the way. The fact that, like, we have... the stuff we have done since Inazuma. Jesus Christ. The stuff we have done.
That's what I heard, too.
You look
Thanks
so sick.
to you, Inazuma's Vision Hunt decree was finally put to an end. Well done, traveler.
Technically, canonically, in our story, right now where we are, that was like 4 years ago or something. Maybe even not that long, you know what I mean?
Captain's got quite the eye for people. She said she was sure that your trip to Inazuma would stir up some waves. And sure enough.
All I wanted was to have a chat with the Electro Archon. It was a joint effort, I can't take all the credit.
Look at you, being so modest. We all know what you did to protect Liyue Harbor.
And that was also a joint effort. That wasn't just me.
I've heard that they tell stories about you in Mondstadt, too. The honorary knight. Pretty impressive.
I mean, it does put into things in perspective how loved we are now, right?
I'd say someone of your caliber would be right at home in the cracks. Right, sailors?
You want me to be a pirate? I'd love it.
That's right. Wow, I'm getting excited just thinking of being the Traveler's crewmate. Hey, what do you say we arm wrestle?
Sure, why not?
I was worried you'd be too
Oh
busy
my
to show
god.
up.
And look up, but she looks so freaking cool, like, all the time. I'm not even sure, like, why we, like, went past her hangout. Maybe it was just because, like, we didn't... Maybe I can't even give you a reason. I can't. I think it was just some of them I was like, oh, I'll keep for later. We don't have to do all of them now. And I think we just didn't know her as well as we knew the other characters, right?
Oh, Captain on deck.
And that's just, no, obviously because they didn't do the hangout. But what other characters, like, say, like, if we're doing a Lynette hangout, I already knew Lynette for a bit before that as well. And we did know Beidou as well. But it's obviously, like, I feel like not as much as we did some of the other hangout characters, I guess.
Captain, we were just trying to talk the Traveler into joining the crew. Yeah, come on, Captain Beidou. Surely you've got a way to get the Traveler on board.
Now I'm, like, already self-conscious. Did I say Beidou? Hopefully.
Oh, he's on board right now for the celebration, isn't he?
Oh my god, look, she's so cool.
Yeah, but just one celebration together is not enough. You know what we mean, Captain.
All right, I get it now. There is something special about you, Traveler. You earned everyone's respect, myself included.
That means a lot, thank you.
So it goes without saying that the Crux would be honored to have a crew member such as yourself.
So appreciated.
No doubt about that.
But then again, a hero like yourself doesn't just set off on a journey without some bigger purpose in mind. So should a hero really drop what they're doing just to spend day after day drifting at sea with us?
I mean, we have some downtime sometimes, you know. The Dane quest is coming out next week. After that, I can maybe, like, hang out on the ship with you guys.
Well, if that were the case, then the Crux, known for always moving forward to the next horizon, would instead be holding someone back.
Right. I guess we didn't think that part through.
I do love the enthusiasm of wanting us on the ship, though.
Remember, rather than seeking out strong members to join us, you should be focusing on making yourselves the strongest that you can be. If we are powerful, they will come to us.
Great way of looking at it.
Isn't that why everyone here chose to come aboard in the first place?
You can see why she's a great leader, right? Very motivating.
Yes, a strong sailor is always looking for a sturdy ship.
I guess I almost forgot the first lesson you ever taught me. Thanks for the reminder, Captain.
Just be sure you all keep that in mind. Now, there's no more need to hound the Traveler, as you were. The Traveler and I have something to discuss.
Oh, yeah?
I'm glad you came. Welcome back aboard.
The crew seemed excited to see me. Thanks for helping me out back there. You were on a tight ship, Captain.
Do I? Oh, to be honest, I don't care for that kind of reputation. I don't want people to see me like some big shot official from Yujing Terrace.
I don't know, I think you're like a very fun person, but I also think at the same time, like, it's very clear, like, you're a very good leader. Very motivating, you know?
But I'll take it as a compliment. I'm glad you see me as well respected. I can't go getting too caught up in my own reputation, though. That's certainly not how the Crux made it to where we are today.
That's great.
As the head of the fleet, my task is to keep us on the right course, no matter how turbulent the seas may become. But then again, the crew isn't usually this riled up. It's not that they're arrogant, they're just bubbling with ambition, that's all. Their excitement today comes from their great respect for you, both your strength
so sweet.
and your character. So please, don't take it the wrong way.
That is very sweet, isn't it? Why would I? I'm actually quite interested in the life of a sailor. Why would I? I should be thanking him for taking me to Inazuma. True.
All good then. Great. Actually, speaking of Inazuma, I think your good luck must have rubbed off on me on the way over. I made an interesting find on the beach shortly after we parted ways.
What was that?
Let's talk about it over there, where it's a little quieter.
So this was like right after she left us off at Inazuma when we met Toma after that, right? So she found something on the beach. By the way, the team we're using today, if we do have to do battle, is Fremi's World, which is Femine, Fischl, Xingqiu, and Benny. Just so people know. So I guess you have to talk in private. Is that? Oh, here she's over here. Okay. Oh, wrong button. Why did I press this button? Oh my god, he's adorable. Look at the way he's jumping. Why did I press that button
So
to
after we
interact?
dropped you off in Rito, we found a shipwreck nearby. Probably belonged to Inazuman pirates.
Oh, right. Okay.
We searched the wreckage and found a map.
A treasure map?
At first, I thought it was a nautical
Please?
chart. I was thinking we might discover a new sailing route if we were lucky.
Cool.
But after a closer look, I realized it wasn't a map of the sea at all. It was a Liua treasure map.
Oh my
and
God.
No ordinary one at that.
Is an evil chi active in the area?
Nothing like that. I just mean that the map was a mess. So it was the most I could do to figure out that the treasure was probably in Lyra.
Okay.
As for its exact location, I have no idea. I'd say I've explored Liwa pretty extensively, but still, this one managed to beat me.
Which, you know, if you know someone who's like, you know, very good at like navigation and finding things and exploring can't find it, then it probably is like a very secret thing as well. I actually do love her design though as well. And I actually think the eye patch like goes so well with like, for some reason the red of the eye patch goes well with like kind of like more muted brunette tone, I guess.
So, I thought of you. Nobody can beat you when it comes to treasure hunting on land, right?
You know me too well. I wouldn't say I'm the best at treasure hunting all the time, only the best to date.
Is that right? Well then, it looks like I'm in good hands. Here's the map. See what you can make of it.
Sure. What the hell?
So, where do you think it is?
That is in Squiggle Island on Squiggle Valley. I think the... Oh, really? Wait, so this is the choice? What? I don't know what to think. We say either or, right?
Guili Plains. Huh, I never would have gotten that. How can you tell?
Compared against a regular map, the topography of the areas is too... Okay. Jesus, Wonder.
Oh. Okay, then.
I mean, fantastic if that's the case. But me and Beidou are like, what the hell?
So you do live up to the hype. I can't believe you noticed that. You sure have an eye for detail.
He's fantastic.
Let's head over there and take a look. I'll need you to help me zero in on the specific location once we're there.
Right, pretty like, I don't know, pretty exciting, like going on a treasure hunt, like as a pirate, for a pirate. But yeah, like I guess this is like one of the choices that you can make in this as well. In fact, we could check it any time, but I usually like to check like a little bit into it, like well, once we get a few of them done. But I can see like there is like quite a few choices here too. Oh my god, look at this place, man! Coming back here for a mission, you know what I mean? This is why leaving quests is actually not a bad idea. It's not. You know what I mean? Like the fact that we get to go back to an area like this that I was at one point in like every single day. Hey, Joe. Every day. We said hello. We're both going to our job. Treasure hoarders?
It should be around here, right?
Look at the hilly turtle. Oh god, he's with Beidou! Do you see the hilly turtle running in the bushes?
Who are they?
Oh, these are actually part of the story.
Oh, it's a bunch of treasure hoarders. I guess the treasure's for real.
What would happen
then.
if you beat them up beforehand?
There
Would the
are
cutscene just
quite
start?
A few of them. If things go south and fists start flying, stay behind me.
Oh my god, you're so cool, aren't you? You're so cool.
I'm more than a match for these amateurs.
Keep digging, boys. Once we have our hands on the treasure, everyone gets a share.
Golden alligator.
You can all hold it right there.
The crunching of the knuckles.
Huh? Who's that barking orders? Do you know who you're up against here? Keep going if you got a death wish.
Every single one of your treasure hoarder who's ever said this to us then realizes who they're up against. Every single one.
What the? It's...
Oh.
It's Captain Beidou.
Yep, Captain Beidou.
Run, boys, run!
Nobody move.
So this time they actually know her reputation. You're done, boys.
Captain Beidou, Lord of the Ocean. This is all my fault. I didn't know who I was up against.
That's no excuse for whatever you're doing.
I swear.
Imagine that in court. I just didn't know who I was up against, honestly. Well, you're free to go. Your Honor, show me. No, he didn't know who he's up against.
I got a big mouth is all. It's always saying things it shouldn't. I swear I'll wash
stop
it out
clapping.
with soap the moment I get back. Please, have mercy. Will you spare us? Well, spare them, at least. These guys are just trying to put food in their mouths. They'd never hurt a soul.
Is this some moral conscience here from a treasure hoarder? I mean, like, they are people, I suppose, you know, so they're gonna have, like, different feelings.
If you need to take anyone, take me. Please, let them go. It was me that disrespected you. They never did and never would.
And also, we don't even know what they're doing here, I suppose.
Is that right? Fine. Seems like you've got a heart in there somewhere.
That's what I was
seeing
thinking.
how you treat your crew. I'll let you off the hook this
That's
time.
interesting, isn't it? Because, like, she's like she has respects the sacrifice for. She just literally said to us, "Get behind me," to us, and now he's saying to his crew, "Get behind me," but in like a more of like a figurative way.
Get out of here!
You know what I mean? So she kind of respects
Thank
it.
you, Captain Beidou. Thank you.
Wait.
Wait,
Yes? What else might the merciful and mighty Beidou require?
merciful and mighty Beidou.
This treasure's still up for grabs. The Crux fleet honors the rule of first come, first served.
Wait,
You found it first, so name your price.
oh my God, the honor of pirates here.
Can't have any rumors going around about Captain Beidou stealing other people's treasure, can I?
Captain Beidou, we wouldn't dare take more from you.
I know, by the way, they don't directly. I don't think they directly call them pirates, by the way, but I'm calling them pirates. It's the same way where they don't call the Hexen Circle witches that often, right? But I still call them witches.
Take the treasure as an apology for my foolish words. Please, take it. Please.
He's like begging her to take it.
Oh? Well, if you insist. I accept your kind offer, and I'll make you one in return. You don't seem like terrible folks, so let me help you get onto the right track. If you want to mend your ways and put all this behind you, the Crux can probably arrange some odd jobs in the port for you.
That is so incredible.
It'd be humble work, but at least it'd get you on your feet and making an honest living. A much better deal than what you've got going now,
That
if
is-
you ask me.
What a freaking offer, though, right? To, you know, instead of just being like, I'm going to beat you up and then I'm going to make give you over to the authorities, you know, give them an opportunity to maybe make a new life for themselves so they don't have to get into these situations again, you know?
Wow, thank you, Captain Beidou. On behalf of me and all my boys.
Right. Let's see what we've got in here.
So now we have to go look for the...
This isn't what we're looking for. Let's look around. Maybe we'll find it.
Sure. Yeah, no, it's just so nostalgic being here anyway, but like it's such a very a lovely outcome to that situation, right? Like, and obviously, like, you know, they're, you know, it's like, oh, she's so nice for not beating them up, but you know what I mean? Like, it's like she could have easily just destroyed them, taken this thing or whatever, or turned them over to someone. But instead she oh, it's daytime now. Sorry about that. I had to go away for a second there. Yeah, just like offering them like an alternative to like the situation that they're in there, and they probably will be a lot happier like having more camaraderie and doing stuff that isn't like as that with treasure hoarders that we have seen can be very underhanded. Do we have to do with this? I think we already activated this, right?
Those rocks look kind of weird. Let's see if there's anything there.
Instantly breaking them.
Nothing. let's keep looking.
This could have just been the wrong choice. We could have just chosen the wrong thing, which is fine, but this place is so nostalgic for me. I remember there was like a commission here like every day. We had to help out one of the treasure hoarders, I think. Which I was almost genuinely got to... Oh,
What are
these
those
guys?
hilly trolls digging for? Wait, actually, I've heard they sometimes dig for buried treasure. Let's go take a closer look.
I'm going in!
We have Fremenate to use as well too. I actually think it's funny though with like with this team I find, and it's the same thing like sometimes when I use when I have any like official Benny or
Let's light it up!
when I have official Betty or
Commencing cleanup.
sorry guys, I'm just like so concentrated on getting good with Fremies. Oh, did we do it? Yeah, when I official Benny and Xingqiu on any team, like they were some of my first built characters. I think 3 of like the first well built characters that I did. When I was first building characters, and I think they're just like actually quite good for like my team from like if you compare it to my other stuff, and so sometimes they could just be a team amongst themselves. They really can. They're very, very good, especially for
Nope,
story stuff, right?
Not here either.
Could have just been the wrong choice.
Now that we've searched all the places of interest in this area and come up with nothing, you got any ideas?
What is the treasure you're looking for?
It's
Captain Beidou! Captain Beidou!
No way, they're already helping out.
huh? Hey, what brings you
There's
back
no
here?
way.
Captain Beidou! Actually, we've just been wandering around nearby. We didn't go
Look
far
how excited they are as well. This is so sweet.
because we were thinking about what you said and,
Are you serious?
well, me and the boys decided
Yes.
we're ready to move away from all of this and get on the straight and
And
narrow.
this thing, I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with people like try, especially if you, like, you need to feed yourself and like, there's sometimes you will have to do stuff that like a lot of people will see as underhanded in some ways. But like it's very clear here they're being offered something that will help them in the future, and it's awesome that Beidou is even offering this, it's awesome.
Oh? Are you sure?
The love hearts coming off her.
Yes, absolutely sure.
Like it's awesome. Look how excited they sound.
Okay then. But I'll warn you right now, you won't have it easy. It might just be menial work in the port, but in the eyes of the general public, you'll be associates of the Crux.
Yeah.
So there'll be a grueling test you have to go through before you can start.
Jesus.
I understand.
The 2 guys in the back were like, okay, I guess.
Truth be told, Captain, it's only because it's you, the mighty and honorable Captain Beidou. If it had been anyone else, I don't think I'd have listened.
Well, it's good that you have respect for it then.
And since you made us this kind offer, I'd like to ask, if I might be so bold, is there any hope at all for us to become
This
full
is so
members of the Crux in
sweet.
the future? Even the tiniest shred of hope?
This is so sweet.
Well, there's no place in the Crux for delusions of grandeur, that's for sure. But then again, everybody has to start somewhere.
Of course.
So, it comes down to you. If you manage to impress me and earn the respect of my crew, then yeah, nothing's impossible.
Thank you, Captain Beidou. Thank you 1,000 times over. I couldn't help but notice you were searching for something else. It still hasn't turned up.
This is such a joyous way of doing this, by the way. Like, it would have been just a fine mission. And I don't think we would have even thought twice if we just beat these guys up, you know what I mean? Like, we wouldn't have. It would just been like another beating of a treasure hoarder. But in this case, we have 3 guys here, at the very least 3 guys, who are looking to turn their life around. It's such a beautiful change.
Why? Do you have any clues?
We heard about 2 treasures, both in Guili Plains. We were still looking for the first one when you found us. So maybe the other one might be what you're looking for.
So maybe there actually is a treasure here. Where is it?
Not too far from here, but I'm just not sure of the exact location. All the info we got about this treasure came from the black market. The answer's hidden inside a poem which goes like this.
There's a poem?
Drunkenly I gazed at the ruins long forsaken, and lay beneath red leaves whose branches cast a crooked shade. The dusk sun shone upon the sea as I awakened, but Guyon stood twixt weary eyes and the sight of home they crave.
I have no idea.
As for the ruins long forsaken part, I do know of some ruins near here.
Fantastic.
But beyond that line, I don't... I'm just not smart enough.
Brother, I didn't know what to... I couldn't decipher it either, if I'm being honest.
So a treasure clue hidden in a poem, huh? Don't worry, we got
This is so classical pirate stuff as well. It's so fun.
See my friend here? If they taught treasure hunting as an
Oh.
art form, you'd probably be calling him Grandmaster. This kind of thing's a piece of cake
Sure.
for him. Am I right?
Let's maybe head to the site first.
Okay,
I love a
then.
laugh.
Let's start by heading to the site and surveying the scene. Maybe we'll find some other clues over there.
Fantastic.
Okay, come on, boys. You heard the captain.
Look at,
Lead the way.
I love this. I love how excited they are. It is just such a great situation, right? It is really a fantastic situation that they've ended up in. And I do love that it is showing at the start of this, like, how respected Beidou was, but also, like, how much of, like, how notorious she is around this world, too. And this was in an era as well where we weren't as famous as we were before. Like, legitimately so. Like, we weren't as famous as we were at that point, too. So it's interesting, like, right now, in this moment, especially in Liyue, we are probably with someone right now that is more famous than us. You know what I mean? Which is such an interesting prospect. But very cool at the same time.
These are the long forsaken ruins from the poem. Apparently they were once full of treasure,
Is it the domain?
but judging by the state of them now, it's probably long gone.
It seems that we need to dig deeper into this poem. Drunkenly, I gazed at the ruins long forsaken, and lay beneath red leaves whose branches cast a crooked shade. The dusk sun shone upon the sea as I awakened, but Guyon stood twixt weary eyes and the sight of home they crave.
It honestly sounds fantastic when Beidou says it.
Do you have any ideas?
Maybe gaze at the ruin means the writer wasn't right here, but looking at the ruins under leaves that they could gaze at the ruins?
Ah, somewhere you can see the ruins from. So somewhere not too far from
Yeah,
here?
like a red leaf tree. That's probably what it is.
Yeah, and maybe the shadow cast by the tree is supposed to hint at something.
Oh, the dusk sun has something to do with the timing, so we have to do a certain
I got
time.
it. This guy fell asleep and woke up just before sunset.
Look at this guy. He went from threatening us to being like he's almost like a little kid. You know what I mean?
Dusk and the shadow of a red-leaved tree. I think we can work with that.
Yeah.
Let's take a look around. I think we're getting close.
This is exciting. This is like legitimately like we're like doing like this like pirate treasure hunt. Obviously we're not in the sea, but so you have to look for a red leaf tree. This is orange. Let's see here. Here? This looks like I know it's orange, but like, you know, red. It's probably this, right? Out of all places. Dig? Okay, we actually do dig.
Found it! At long last, the treasure is finally in our hands. A check from the Northland
Oh, a check?
Bank.
I mean, okay. I didn't expect it to be a check. I thought it was going to be like gold or something.
You really came through. We found the spot in no time. Without your help, I don't think I ever would have gotten my hands on it.
Is it worth a lot of mora?
Not much, but enough for an average person to survive on for a while. But there's more to this particular check than that.
How so?
When I found the treasure map, it was tightly sealed inside a small bottle along with a letter. I'll let you read it for yourself.
If you find this bottle, I may no longer be in this world. I originally thought that these pirates, having their ways and
Finished?
means, might be able to send me back to Liyue, which was why I got on board their ship. I never expected that. Forget it. I suppose this is what they call destiny. Before I came to Inazuma, I worried that my old mother's place would be burgled, and she lives alone. So I left a check for all the more I've saved over the past few years and buried in a location marked out on this map. Please help me retrieve that check and exchange it at the Northland Bank. The more will then be yours to do it as you please. Save a small portion that I would like to use to pay my mother's living expenses. Her name is Minamoto Kotomi, and she lives in Guili Plains. Please do this for me and thank you. I'm sorry, Mother. I found loads of those sakura blooms that could be found all over your homeland, but it's a shame that I cannot send them to your side. So it was all for this person's mother. It's a dying wish of a man who met a tragic fate.
Yeah, I can't fault him for what he did, but the way things turned out, all I can say is life is unpredictable.
For sure.
Well, let's fulfill his final wish by taking this check to where it
That's
belongs.
freaking amazing. So now we're going to go to give it to his mother? This happens all the time with Hangouts, by the way. I need this to be said. Every time I play a Hangout, it starts off with like, hey, let's go to the pub. And it ends up with like, so that's why this, highly emotional thing happened. You know what I mean? Like, it's always like so like beautiful in that sense, You never know what you're going to get with Hangouts. This is such a gorgeous place as well, isn't it? Such a gorgeous place. Liyue is so stunning.
Well, this is it. Oh, boys, it's time for your first job.
Oh, yeah, good idea. Very good idea.
Give this check to the old lady who lives in that wooden hut. Tell her it's a welfare payment from the Liyue Ministry of Civil Affairs.
I love the way they say Liyue.
Yes, boss.
Yes, boss.
What's up?
I have some sakura blooms that I picked up on the Inazuma. I want her to have them too.
I see.
Oh, they're so sweet.
But you only find sakura blooms in certain places, right? It must have been quite a bit of work collecting all these, surely.
I mean, I suppose, yeah, but like, I think this is one of those moments that, like, you know, when someone else is doing something for someone and you're like, okay, I have to, you know, you feel compelled to do something as well because it's so sweet.
Let's just pick one, huh? One's enough to show that you care.
I love then Beidou looking out for us as well.
You've already helped me out so much today.
Like, she's kind of like, hey, don't give them all away, you know? Which is kind of, again, her just looking out for us all at the same time. You take out sakura bloom.
Okay, off you go then. Take her the sakura bloom along with the check. And if she asks, tell her, your child in a faraway land sends his best wishes.
Is she just like the perfect leader? The perfect person? Is this what we're getting at here? Oh my god, look at this image. She's like resting her arm on her head as well. And we're smiling. Look at our cute smile as well. As the Sakura from one's homeland sink into the sea, so too the wandering son's thoughts are delivered to his mother. Look what happened in this quest. We started off just as a treasure hunt. And we ended up changing a few treasure hunters' lives. To now that they're doing this first task, which is giving some happiness to this old lady about her son. And we could smile, and it's one of those things where everyone in this situation could, like, obviously, like, you know, the son is dead, but you know what I mean? Everyone who's like the treasure hunters, us, Beidou, we can all come away from the situation feeling good. You know, I'm feeling good about this, and I love this image as well. So that's one ending we got there as well, which is fantastic. What's the next one is going to be? I guess we can just look. So we have a special guest. We went this way, and we chose the Guli Plains. Is there another choice here? No, that's just that. So we have to choose to go to the other area. So freaking fun. And that's one of my favorite things about this game as well, is seeing those images. Is always like such a oh, we have to... How far are we going here? Is it not just at the back of the ship? It is at the back of the ship. We have to choose then to go to the other location now. So sweet.
So after we dropped you off in Rito, we found a shipwreck nearby.
We can skip this as well. There was a time, and this is like something that I was like told by you guys, where you couldn't even skip the dialogue. So I understand why maybe a lot of people didn't want to do this, because you had to like go through the dialogue every single time, but now you can skip the whole scenes.
Chingsa Village. I don't see the resemblance at all. How'd you come to that conclusion?
Call the treasure hunter's intuition. Has a lot of terraced land, which needs to match the contour on the line. So we're going to probably get this wrong this time, I guess. Or maybe we'll find a different treasure.
Okay, then.
You never know with these hangouts. We could literally end up in space by the end of these hangouts. That's how the hangouts work.
I'm definitely a rookie at this. But your word's good enough for me. Time for a trip to Chingsa. You're coming with me, of course. I'll need you to help me zero in on the specific location once we're there.
There's no issue whatsoever. I'm enjoying myself so much. So we're actually quite far away, right? But like again, coming here, and again, I've been here recently. I probably for like, oh, this is one of the prettiest places in the entire game. I remember when I saw this place for the first time, I was blown away. Look at this. And in the daytime, like it's beautiful now, but like let's get daytime for a second here, guys. Like legitimately in the daytime, this is the first time I came here. Blew me away. Look at this. Look at that.
Spend some time at the bottom of the sea. In peace and total silence.
Stunning. We've talked to her before, right?
Ah, Beidou. Wow, and the traveler. My goodness, what's the occasion? Just here to visit us old folks once again? It hasn't been all that long since we last had a visit from the Crux.
So they do get visits regularly, I guess, from the Crux?
But I'm glad you picked today. You're just the people I need. These two young rascals, they've been arguing with each other non-stop about some petty nonsense or other. I'm too old to get through to them. They won't listen to me. Please, talk some sense into
That's so interesting that we're seeing that trust that she has in Beidou to actually, like, you know, sort this out.
Rest assured, Granny
Roshin.
Zhuoshin. Whatever the situation is, the Traveler and I will take care of it.
I'm up for it.
Oh, thank goodness.
Love your hair.
It's Captain Beidou. You couldn't have come at a better time. You're the voice of reason
They
I
respect
need
her
in this
so much.
situation.
Captain, please. Help me get justice.
Your hair's not as nice, so you're the one I'm going against. The other one's right, you're wrong.
Whoa, hey. What exactly is going on here? Spit it out. Tell me everything.
It makes me mad just talking about it. G here, I don't know if he's got a screw loose or what his problem is. But anyway, he took it upon himself to raise, well, practically a whole army of finches.
Wait, like birds?
And now guess what? They fly onto my land and completely destroy
no.
at least half of my crops.
Not good at all.
I asked him to pay compensation, but he refused. Now, how is that fair?
That's not good at all.
Captain, I'm innocent. They're not even my finches.
Oh?
I just thought they looked kind of cute, you know, so
Ah.
I fed them a couple of times. They're wild birds,
If
though.
you do feed birds, they do come back to like a specific location, right, to find that. I think they do, right? If they'll know like locations and go back to get food.
A couple times? Are you kidding me? That's rich. Really rich. There were 2 of them when you first started. 2 finches. Now you have a whole roof full of finch nests. I swear, every time I come by your place, I think I'm at a bird market. I'm telling you, you are not gonna get away with this anymore.
So, yeah. I mean, they laid a few eggs,
Okay.
made a few nests, but finches gonna finch,
Finch is gonna
you know?
finch?
These are wild birds. I mean, they'll do whatever they please.
This is a tough situation because like you see the kindness that she has here as well, but I wonder if there is a situation here as well where it's like, if you're inviting more wildlife into these areas with the crops and stuff like that, they're probably going to destroy the crops. If you're feeding them more, they will show up. But again, it's like he's doing it out of the kindness of his own heart.
So that's how it is. I think I got the picture.
Like he seems to just really like finches, you know, as well.
What's your take?
I think she is responsible. He's been feeding them too much, and now they're destroying people's crops. Well, we're gonna have to we'll go with both of them. Like personally, I think that like both of these are like, I don't think innocent is the way you look at it. I don't think it's innocent or guilty. I think it's more of a case of just like, if you feed cats, for example, they will come back. If you feed a dog, it probably will come back. If you feed birds, they'll probably know the location to go and eat that stuff too. But in this case as well, I think like crops are really important, especially in a time like this, like and locations like this. And leeway, crops are important. We'll go with this first.
Yeah, you
know, and then we're gonna have to pick another option anyway afterwards.
Gee, let's say I'm interested in buying these finches off.
Beidou,
What would you say
are
to
you
that?
serious?
Are you serious, Captain? Oh, that
Like I
would
see
be
how
great.
good he is, right?
Honestly, with all this trouble they've been causing me lately, they've become a bit of a burden. So if you're happy to
So
take
they
them
are
off my
yours.
hands, that would be perfect.
I kind of like him a lot though. Like, you know, he's like, Finch is gonna finch, and he's like, they're not my birds. And then as soon as someone's like, I'll buy them off you, oh my god, take them off my hands, you know?
All right, deal. My only condition is you have to use some of the money to compensate Wenjing for
That's
her losses.
fair.
Oh, come on. But I never raised them.
So now they're not in your hands.
Well, you tell me. You took my deal, that
I
means you
agree.
admitted to being
I
the
agree.
owner, doesn't it? Otherwise, what gives you the right
That's
to
what I was
sell them
thinking.
to
And
me?
he said off my hands, right?
Captain Beidou's right. If you didn't raise them, what makes you think you can go taking her money
Her
for
outfit
them,
and hair
huh?
is so incredible. She must be right. I'm joking, guys. I'm joking.
Well...
Don't worry. My offer includes plenty left over for you after deducting the compensation.
Beidou should be doing this for every region. Can I just bring her with me to like everywhere? I feel like if I had her in the Fontaine court system, like Child would have been off the hook in 2 seconds. You know?
This way, you get something back for looking after them.
Nouvelette's like, I let him go. That pirate came in here and she said something very reasonable. And now me and Child are going for dinner later, and we're going to have a coffee. We're all friends now.
Okay, then. Okay. I'll pay the compensation.
I hope you two are very grateful indeed to Beidou. I dare say no one else will be quite so accommodating toward the people of our village.
She's really fantastic. She is fantastic.
Granny Zhuoshin, as you know, many of the boys from your fine village do sterling work for the Crux. The fleet wouldn't be what it is today without them. So please think nothing of it.
She's just really someone like morally good that you can definitely look up to in a lot of ways, right?
Gee, Wenjing, I guess you're free to go.
Captain Beidou, you're here.
I love the design.
Pops Shing, it's been a
She
long
knows everyone.
time. Have you been?
This is like when you walk through town with somebody who knows everybody. You're like, well, you know everybody, don't you?
Don't get me started. I've been having some real trouble with that neighbor of mine, Jen. We keep having the same argument, and it just goes nowhere. I heard you were in the village, so I rushed over to seek your help.
What's the issue?
Jumping into
Come
action
with
again.
me. You'll see. Let's go find Jen and clear this whole thing up, face to face.
I love that we came to find this treasure, but we actually ended up in a situation where we're doing conflict resolution, which again, it is, these hangouts I feel like are showcases of a character, not just about the activities that we're doing. And they usually use the activities to showcase the character. And in this, we're seeing how good they are at being a leader, like their conflict resolution, how respected they are. It's really, really good. Really, really good. Let's talk to Ren.
Captain Beidou, you're here.
I heard that you and Pops Shing had a little misunderstanding. So, what's up? Tell me.
Jen planted a tree on his property a few years back.
Okay.
I had no issue with it at the time. It's just a tree. But a few years on, it's grown taller than the roof of my house.
Oh, so is it like stopping sunlight?
Every morning when I get up and open the window, I just
That's
want
understandable.
to feel the sun on my face, but I'm greeted instead by the looming shadow of my neighbor's tree. It really affects my mood.
I think it definitely I think it's an understandable gripe to have, right? Like, you know, especially like, you know, when you've lived a really long life and you just want that one thing in life, right? You just want that one singular thing, which is the sun on your face.
I asked Jen to cut it down so I could get some sunlight back on my property. But he said no. It's like he's done this on purpose just to drive me crazy.
I wouldn't say that's the case, but we'll see what he says.
Captain Beidou, you gotta believe me. I didn't intend to block the sunlight, but there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, I do believe that you would not build a tree just to block someone's sunlight. That would be crazy. I think you actually should be probably locked up if you would do that just to, you know, and I mean in prison. You should go to the Fortress of Mirapede maybe. If you would plant a tree just to block someone's sunlight, that's dedication on a scary degree. You shouldn't be here.
It's not just any old tree, you see. That tree was planted there by my late father.
Right.
Not long after he planted it, he passed away. And just before he passed, he left me with some parting words. He said our family's fortune was inauspicious and we needed something to suppress the bad luck. That's what he planted the tree for. How can I just chop it
That's
down?
tough, isn't it? That's super tough.
I'll be honest, I spent a few years studying in Liyue Harbor, so I don't actually share his superstitious beliefs. But still, that doesn't change the fact that
Sentimentality
this
of
is
it.
my father's dying wish.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm all clear on the situation.
This is a tough one. I don't know how Beidou is going to deal with this.
What are you thinking?
I don't think it's fair for Poshing to suffer over this. We're going to go... I think we're going to have to pick both of them at some point maybe, but like, I don't know if we will or not because... But my take on this... I think he does deserve some leniency in this situation just because this is like... He didn't intend for this to happen. And also there's like some sentimental stuff in this as well. I do agree that it's absolutely awful that like, you know, again, especially when you have a property, you've lived there your whole life and now, you know, you just want this one thing. I don't know. I like really like, I could go either way, but I'm going to pick maybe some leniency because I don't want to just like punish Ren altogether for this. You know what I mean?
I was thinking along the same lines.
Like
as
it doesn't
you.
see, it wasn't an intentional thing you did wrong to hurt somebody, you know? It's a sentimental thing.
Look, Pops, I'm not trying to make excuses for Jean, but just try putting yourself in his shoes for a moment.
Yeah.
Jean's desire to protect his tree isn't for money or because he wants to hurt anyone, or for the sake of any superstition.
Sentimental.
He just wants to honor his father's dying wish. Pops, you have kids too, right?
Yeah. When you put it like that.
Yeah. I'm glad he's very
Perhaps if
understanding.
You can agree to it. I'll have a word with Granny Zhuoshin and see about getting you some money from the relief fund as compensation for having your sunlight
That's
blocked.
pretty nice.
As for the tree,
That sounds good to me. Whatever you think.
Oh, they
Captain
trust
Beidou,
he trusts her so much.
the tree can stay. Some compensation would make me feel much better about the
before
whole
anyone
thing.
probably, it's okay if you do think this way. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's totally okay for someone to expect compensation, like, because it can help, right? Because people who say like money isn't everything, it's like, yeah, like there's a lots of life other than money, but in a lot of situations it can help. I can help. It can't. People are like, it won't help ease anything. It's like, yes, it will. If you have money constantly to like, support yourself and to be happy, it means the other stuff you can deal with in more of a manageable way.
Thank you, Captain Beidou. And thank you for understanding Pop's Xing. I'll make sure to trim it back when I get home to let some more
That's
light
a
through.
beautiful consolation there. Thank you.
It'll be such a relief not to have to worry about
Yeah,
this
and
anymore.
you won't have to. You can go back to being good neighbors.
On a separate note, I remember the Crux last visited the village not very long ago. Is there some special reason why you're back in person
We're trying
so
to get
soon?
a treasure.
nothing all that special, just personal reasons. I'm looking for some treasure.
Huh? Treasure? Wait a second. That reminds me, I saw Chongping and Defu arguing in the fields earlier. It sounded like they were both trying to lay claim to some treasure. I don't know if it's related to the one you're looking for, but anyway, they're probably still there now.
Really? Okay, well, you and Pop Xing can go about your business now. I'll go see what the situation is.
And it seems like Beidou's more than happy to do as well because of the help that they give her as well. She's just like a very like reasonable person. But this whole situation turned out like really, really well in the end. Like I think just my perspective was just like I think in some cases in those moments when you feel disrespected, right? When you feel like the tree is disrespecting you and that your neighbor's disrespecting you. Sometimes you just want it acknowledged, right? And so, I'm not saying that that's all he wanted because of course the sunlight in your face is a very beautiful thing and wanting that is very normal. Sometimes you just want someone to be like, oh yeah, that sucks, And I feel like in this situation, once we acknowledged what was going on, we found a compromise and we explained to him the situation from the other guy's perspective. The dude was like, okay, I get it. That's something I've seen this so many times. I remember I was watching like a show one time where a few people were like arguing with each other, and one of them was really upset. And I remember in that moment, this one they couldn't figure out how to like really get this dude to like not be upset anymore. And sometimes you try everything but acknowledging their feelings because sometimes people are like, well, I'm feeling hurt. Well, I think this is unreasonable. I think he's being unreasonable. And the eldest person in their like friend group went up to them and basically was like, he was like, hey, this has to happen. And I understand that you're upset. And as soon as they acknowledged the guy's feelings, it was like, it changed. It's like, okay, you acknowledge his feelings. You made him feel like he was, listened to. And sometimes that's all people need. They want to know that they are heard, And in that case, I feel like that's what the situations that went on here. He felt like he was heard in the end. And sometimes that's all you need.
Huh? Beidou, you're just in time. Defu's being completely unreasonable.
Defu!
What happened?
I'm not being unreasonable, Captain. I got Chongping to help me plow my land because it's the busy season. And then, what do you know? He plows up a treasure chest.
Oh, this is like a classic tale as old as time, right? So it's like someone on the job finding something in the job and wondering if they can keep it, I guess.
Way I see it, it's my land. So the treasure belongs to me, right? I think it's a pretty clear-cut case.
I think so, but I think just because it's like it's a contracting job, clearly, like it's not like he's an employee or whatever, that like he maybe doesn't have the right to it. Like, I don't know, if someone found something in like, like say if if found out someone was like cutting like my grandmother or my grandfather's lawn or something, and they found like an old necklace or something, and they're like, well, I have the right to keep this. I was working on it. I don't see it as that. You know what I mean? Like if you're working in like a factory and you found something or something, that I'm like, okay, yeah, keep it. You know what I mean? Like it's none of my business. But you get what I'm saying? It's like maybe I don't know.
You say that, Defu, but what you're forgetting is that I came to help you plow your fields out of the goodness of my heart, and you haven't paid me a single more.
Okay, wait, that changes everything. Because he said, I got Chongqing to help me plow my land, but because it's my busy season. Yeah, if you did, okay, you're not paying him. He can take this as payment then, I guess. Okay, you have to pay your people who work for you. You have to, like, it doesn't matter. You have to pay people.
It was also my plowing that turned up this chest. However you cut it, surely I'm entitled to at least some.
I think that's fair. If you're not paying him, you should pay him this way.
The domestic drama just keeps coming today. What are your thoughts?
Wait, this is the choice. So we can maybe go to talk to Yan Fei?
Okay, I think I'm up to speed here.
No way.
If you two really want to take this further, I can get a legal expert from Liua Harbor to adjudicate.
That would be so fun.
As for the costs, I'll cover them.
Jesus.
What do you think?
Come on. It's probably the best way to go about it. No, you don't want to get legal involved?
Neither of you seems thrilled about this course of action.
Okay.
Okay, so plan B.
So we're not bringing in Yan Fei.
I'll be straight with you. The reason I came here today was to look for some treasure. Chances are it's hiding right there in the chest you're both fighting over. So, how about you two stop fighting over it and do me a favor by handing it to me?
Okay.
Of course, I'll be indebted to both of you. If either of you ever needs anything in the future, the Crux will not hesitate to lend you our support.
Usually I'd just be like, pay them, but like also at the same time here in this position, like help from the Crux, pretty invaluable.
Captain, you're far too kind, really. Indebted? That won't be necessary.
Oh my god.
If you want this chest, you go ahead and take it.
They're just gonna give them no way.
Yep, totally agree. If only I'd known you were looking for this chest.
The respect that they have for Beidou is like crazy.
You should have said something. I would have delivered it to you personally to save you the trip.
It's awesome though, right?
It seems like it's been quite a busy day for you, helping us settle all our little quarrels.
Like the fact that they're willing to just give up something they were so... And this is the three different conversations that they were willing to compromise so easily because it's her.
Come on, let's go to the village. I'll rally the masses. We'll get some good food and good drink and have a good old get-together.
This is the... I gotta chill just because this is the best possible outcome that could ever come for this.
I'll carry it over.
Are you serious? Wait until 9 o'clock. No, like that's like, it's again, like, because we always say this like is a showcase of, a character. Hangouts to me are not just like just a fun story. Because again, like, you know, you have the Lynette story, the Lynette hangout, which was the last hangout we did before this, was so intricate and so many details about it, and such a big twist, so many twists and turns. It was like a full Archon quest, really. But to me, like, it's not just about like the story itself, because the story could be really good. As you said, it's also about like showing us who Beidou is as a person. Little you? I'm little you. You can't be little me. I'm from the House of the Heart. Fremnate, stop talking to the weird kid. I'm little you. They seem kind of... No, Fremnate, come on. They seem... Fremnate. That's a demon. They don't see it. Fremnate, come on. Okay. I know you're a sweetheart. I know you want to help out. But remember what happened last week? You got eaten by the giant demon fish. I did. Yeah, you did. Why? I was trying to fix its toy. Okay, Fremnate. I can see this joke is going nowhere. I can see this is going nowhere, Fremnate. Let's end this. Fair enough.
What a fine day today has been. Beidou has solved an awful lot of problems in our village.
She sure has. Without Captain Beidou, that compensation payment would have bankrupted me. Yeah, and if it weren't for Captain Beidou, I'd still be arguing with Pops Xing.
Oh, this is so sweet.
Hear, hear. We have plenty to thank Captain Beidou for, I'm sure. I propose a toast in her honor.
To Captain Beidou. Cheers.
I couldn't ask for more than the chance
Look at
to
the
get
pose
everyone
as well.
together and drink to our heart's content. Cheers!
Could you ask for like a better leader at all? You know what I mean? I don't think you could.
Yeah, that really hit the spot. Want to get some air? The view in this place is pretty good.
No problem.
We can take a look through the contents of that chest while we're at it. Chongping placed it by the water wheel.
Are you sure you haven't had too much to drink? Let her drink.
Are you kidding? Beidou can handle her liquor.
I believe you, but...
Are you kidding? Come on, let's go.
Fantastic. Let us be off. Now, this is such a sweet mission. This is like such like a, because I know we have a Danes of quest next week, right? This is like the perfect quest to play before Danes of quest. You know what I mean? It's perfect.
So...
Gorgeous.
Everyone seems to trust me enough to let me have the final word on their disputes.
Exactly. Yes, that's exactly what was happening.
But don't you think some of my solutions can be a little stupid?
I mean, some of the arguments, I don't think the arguments are stupid. I think they're like, some of the arguments can be very like, if an argument can be solved very quickly like that, I think that the problem itself wasn't the argument. I think the problem was that no one was seeing the easier solution, right?
You can laugh. I don't mind. Take Changping and Dufu's wrangling over that chest, for instance. I had no clue who it should belong to, so I just came up with this stupid idea of taking it for myself. At least that way, neither of them would feel like it was unfair.
This seems like such a dad thing to do as well, right? Or a dad or a mom thing to do as well. You know, two kids fighting over the last, like, cookie, and they take the cookie. You know what I mean? Well, it's mine now, you know?
But, I mean, I'm no Ningguang. I can't make a perfect deal every
time.
time.
No one expects you to be Ningguang, and no one expects Ningguang to be Beidou. There's not, you both serve different, have different jobs, serve different purposes, are different people. No one expects that.
And I'm no Yanfei either. Not all my judgment calls are going to be 100% fair and square.
But again, look at that. They didn't want a lawyer involved. They wanted you to be involved. That's who they wanted. If Ningguang was here, they probably would have felt so much of a pressure under it that they would have to like agree with everything she said. But for you, they agree with what you said because they just trust your judgment. And not that people don't trust, people of course trust Ningguang's judgment because like they literally fight each other to get like little pieces of her like information that she has about business and stuff like that. But I'm saying like she does have like, it's different between different people. Like, you know, you're not Yanfei, you're not Ningguang, but they're not you either. You know, they're not the captain of the Crux. They can't do the same things you do, just like you can't do the same things they do.
I am Beidou, and my strength is in trading favors.
So the captain of the Crux just hands out favors to everyone all the time? And I mean, like, it works.
You think I should be more selective?
I mean, it clearly has worked out for you.
Some people think their favors are so valuable that they need to plan out how and when to use them to maximize the return on their investment. They view the favor as a bargaining chip. Others see doing favors as a burden, not worth anything in monetary terms and prone to getting you locked in a cycle of constantly returning the favor back and forth.
Yeah.
But the way I see it, favors are what keep people connected to one another.
That's a nice way of putting it, right?
Over thousands of years, the people of Liyue have created bonds between each other by doing someone a favor here and asking for a favor there. This means that no individual is truly on their own out there. When someone falls down, there's an invisible net made of human connections, waiting to catch them and get them back on
And
their
I don't
feet.
even think she means it in a transactional way. I think it's like, in life, it's like, oh man, I'm going to help out my friend because they always help me out. You know what I mean? That's not transactional. It's more just like, it shows you care in some cases, right? Now, of course, there is such thing as transactional relationships where people do feel like, dude, I bought that for you, so you bet. You know what I mean? Like, and that's a whole different story. I do think that this is just, as you said, it's about making connections. It's about the connection you have with other people, knowing that they will be there for you.
Over the years, I've come to owe favors to a great many people, and many other people have come to owe me one. These are the countless bonds between us, like so many fish in the sea. And they're the reason that the Crux and I have survived the countless hardships we faced. I believe that if there ever comes a day when the world is overrun by monsters, Liyue's legal system collapses and the land is thrust back into an age of war.
Jesus.
It's these bonds that will see us all through the dark days ahead.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
Until we come out on the other side.
Like, I think as well, like, from her perspective as well, like, look at what we did at the end of the, look at what we did at the end of the Liyue Harbor battle, you know what I mean? What we were able to do, in that situation, like, really did come from, like, a togetherness that is, like, again, like, Liyue was, like, I think the story of, like, even, Zhang Li becoming, like, a semi-retired Archon was that, like, the people of Liyue, are there for each other and are able to support each other and prop each other up. And I think it fits so well that, like, Beidou was, like, bases her whole life off this idea too. So the reason you asked for my help with to find the treasure today is so you can owe me a favor?
I'm not saying that. But either way, we have a pretty firm bond between us already, don't you think?
We do, and, like, that's the thing. That's why I kind of regret not doing your hangout earlier, because I feel like I personally felt not as connected to Beidou as I did other characters. That's just it. And, like, now I'm feeling like, man, I missed out on so much. But again, I wanted to leave some stuff behind so I could come back to it. You know what I mean? I always wanted to do that because I didn't want to, because I feel like it's one of those things where, like, it's not only just I didn't want to be burnt out, but, like, I just like with some events I'm doing in Honka Star Rail. I want a reason to always to come back, you know?
Was this wind brewed in a winery? It's making me lightheaded. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Something we were literally just talking about.
You did mention the treasure chest.
Oh, yeah, the chest! Oh, I got so immersed in our conversation that I forgot all about the main event. Come on, let's open it up and see what's inside.
You opened the chest and overwhelmed by the putrid smells of old rotten cabbage?
Oh, that's it? A whole lot of nothing?
I guess.
It's not exactly what I was looking for. But you know what? I don't care. The fun part was going on a treasure hunt with you.
That means the world.
Come on, let's get back to the party. Tonight, we go big before we go home.
Oh my god. Look at our face as well. No, this has been so fun, and it's been so joyous. Look how happy everyone is after all these situations as well, you know? All the stuff that we've really, I guess, gone through, so far in this story. I've saved the photo there as well. No, so fantastic. And I think what we showed there is, again, like, it's not about transactional. It's not about, like, oh, you better do this for me. I did this for you. You know what I mean? It's, like, it's the connection. It's like almost like tying yourself. And it feels like, what I love most about, like, as I said, Leeway, it's like tying yourself back to another... It's tying yourself to someone emotionally, not in a bad way, so that you can also... Was this one of the choices down here as well for this? So that you can, No, there's like a whole separate choice. This is a beastly one. So that you can have that connection forever, you know? It's not just like, do something for me. It's, Oh, it's right at the start. It's not just do something for me. It's that because I owe you this favor, it means we are going to see each other again. And because you owe me this favor, you're going to see me again. I think it's such a beautiful sentiment. It's such a beautiful sentiment. And there we saw as well, like, as you saw the respect that people have for how funny she is as well. So I guess we just choose different options every single time. Like, she's hilarious.
I'm glad you came. Welcome back aboard.
Thanks for having me out there.
It. As a host, it would be pretty embarrassing to continue letting my guests be put on the spot like that. I can't go getting too caught up in my own reputation, though. That's certainly not how the Crux made it to where we are today. As the head of the fleet, my task is to keep us on the right course, no matter how turbulent the seas may become. But then again, the crew isn't usually this riled up. It's not that they're arrogant, they're just bubbling with ambition, that's all.
I don't find them bad at all. I actually quite enjoy their company.
Their excitement today comes from their great respect for you.
We can skip this as well. Sorry, I didn't realize there as well. I'm actually quite interested in the life of a sailor.
Oh, is that so? Well, it just so happens that we're doing some
so we actually
recruitment
gonna do
and
this?
training for new crew members while we're back. It'll be a first-rate chance to learn the life of a sailor.
I'm so for it.
Since you're interested, why don't you come along and experience a sailor's life firsthand?
I mean, sure?
I'm curious to see if you'll take the sea by storm in the same way you have on land.
We're actually going to get to, like, do some tests and see if we can join the captain on their ship, like, be one of the pirates? Show me the ropes.
Good. Come with me. I've got something interesting for you to see.
Fantastic. This is so fun. Like, this is one of the best hangouts, right? Like, it's just, and again, it's obviously, as you said, it's not as serious so far as some of the hangouts have been. Like, as I always bring up, I brought up the Lynette hangout as well, which, you know, was pretty freaking serious. And some of the hangouts can get dark even sometimes as well. But, like, this is just a really fun one.
Breaking in the newcomers,
but then again, that could change.
I think we can spare you the tedium of that. After this, the new crew members will be arranged into 2 teams for more specialized training, according to their own aptitudes and the needs of the fleet. One team will learn comprehensive survival skills, including maritime emergency rescue, marine meteorology, psychological counseling, and so on. They will serve as the support team for the fleet, ensuring safe navigation. That's why we call them the Shield of the Crux.
There's so many, like, things that go into this, right? What's the other team? The spear? What's the other team? The pen? The spear sounds right?
That's right.
There we go.
You catch on quick.
We could have gone for the joke answer as well, though, of course.
As one might expect, we call the other team the Spear of the Crux, because they'll be learning about naval warfare. They'll make up the armed portion of our crew. Also, they're responsible for handling the fleet's cargo deals. So, what do you think? Which team is for you?
Wait, is this the last 3 missions? Oh no, okay, let's go with the spear first, right?
You truly are an adventurer at heart. Let's start with the fundamentals for any armed crew member. Basic boat handling.
I'm so excited.
Follow me.
Wait, they're not gonna let us like, they're not gonna let us actually like, you know, sail the boat, right? But it's still a fun quest. Hanging out with a Beidou on a boat. Learning all the ropes.
These are some older skirmish boats that we keep on the Alcor as backup.
So it's one of the boats that you get to use in, was it Inazuma when they was introduced? Was it Inazuma when they introduced? I think so, right?
Although they've been made redundant by newer models now, they're still fully kitted out. They're perfect for when we need to do simulated battles as part of crew training.
I thought I'd still in the Alcor in the battle simulation. Wander, you may have thought that. I had no delusions about not being able to do that.
Disappointed? So this isn't quite on the scale that you had in mind, huh? To be honest, the Alcor going into battle is the last thing I'd ever want to see.
Oh, for real?
In fact, out of all the confrontations we've ever had, almost all were resolved by negotiation.
That's good. I mean, we know that she is like really good at like conflict resolution as well, so there's that.
Only when negotiations fail do we consider deploying our armed fighters and skirmish boats, and they alone are enough to handle most situations.
I mean, that's really good to hear, but then again, it goes along with the stuff we've seen in the other portion of the Hangout, right? Like how that she is like not only just like a well-respected person, but like really good at offering solutions to situations that could seem very difficult.
The only reason the Alcor would ever need to open fire would be if it were a fight to the death.
But that is good to hear.
The Alcor serves only 2 purposes: to deter or to destroy. We are an armed fleet with a strong sense of justice, not war-hungry lunatics. We're very careful about determining when to use force and exactly what level of force to use. All of this to say that mastering a small attack craft is quite enough for new crew members.
Whatever you want me to do, I'll do it.
Do you have any experience piloting small armed vessels?
Sure do. I can even sail a fire at the same time. I mean, good try.
You mean you can do the jobs of a helmsman and a gunner simultaneously? Wow, that's quite an achievement.
Yeah, let's go with that. Let's pretend I'm good at that.
Even in the Crux, there are few who can do that. Seems like you're a natural. In that case, I'll skip the basics on how to operate your craft.
No, you can tell me if you want. I'm not gonna... Okay.
The goal of this exercise is simple. Steer your skirmish boat along the prescribed route and return here within the time limit. You can start when you're ready. I'll be waiting here so I can observe your skills.
Okay. Now, out of everybody in this that plays this game, I probably use these boats the least. Legitimately the least. I don't think I've barely... I think I've probably been in one. Legitimately, I would say, in my life. Maybe this is probably the 6th time in my entire time in this game of being in one of these. It's never something that like I thought about doing again after the first few times I did it. Obviously, you need it for some quests and stuff like that. Even in the recent event, I forgot that you could even do this as well. Not forgot that, I didn't even think about it as I was doing this stuff. But this is super fun. The fact that there's a freaking hangout that has like a really cool mini game in here as well is really, really cool. But thankfully, just like most things in Genshin, it controls really well. So even if I don't use it often, it actually doesn't matter at all. You know? I think that's one of the things like that is always really good about Genshin, is that to me, it is one of the easiest games I've ever played in terms of control. It is so easy to control the character at any moment and any time. Oh. Like I have a... Well, I think I remember like specifically when I booted up this game last year, that was one of the most exciting things about it. It's just like, oh my god, this just like works so well. Where are we going? Down here? We only got 7 out of 3. That's my bad.
Not so on form today, huh?
Damn it, I only got 7 out of 3. I didn't even realize that. Yeah, I'm a little rusty.
I'm sure the boat is partly to blame. It's a pretty old craft, so it can be a little sluggish.
It's not. It's actually really easy to operate. I just didn't see the other things I was supposed to get.
So don't worry about it. Just remind me to have Juza make some improvements.
It's fantastic. I was the idiot. It's fantastic
anyway,
to control.
That was all just to get you warmed up. What I really want to show you is the more serious side of the Crux's business.
That guy's gonna have to fix a boat that's not broken later on. I feel so bad.
Come with me. We're going to Liyue Harbor.
Fantastic. I love the harbor. We lost Heart there because she's like, this guy sucks. You know what's so funny about that though? Like I stand by it. It's so easy to control. That was legit just me just not seeing what I had to collect. You know what I mean? I feel like such an idiot because like it is like very easy to control. Love Liyue Harbor. Love coming back to these places. What are you guys looking at? We're just looking at the ocean. We love it's kind of peaceful. Okay. Is there a monster? No, there's no monster. Okay. Hey, look, the sun is rising. Do you have parents or something to go for? No, I got a magician brother who serves all the time and a really quiet magician's assistant. I think you should go. Okay. I'll go. Hello, Beidou.
You may be aware that as an armed fleet, the Crux is kind of like the maritime equivalent of a guard for hire. We work as an armed carrier, earning our keep by successfully delivering the goods entrusted to us from A to B. Aside from that, though, there is also one other important way we make income.
Bounties for capturing pirates and administrative affairs, remunerating and contemplating adventure and guild missions, consultancy fees for fast track. So is it, I guess, this?
Actually, it's trading.
Oh.
In certain kinds of goods.
I should have realized that because, like, I don't know. Wait. Mora Grubber? What type of name is Mora Grubber?
Hey, my hotshot accountant. Nice of you to join us.
Cut it out, boss. Juza sent me here with a message. He says preparations are now underway. If you give me the all clear, I'll head straight over.
Okay, so she's involved in something here as well?
Okay. Be careful.
What's your bookkeeper doing here?
Well, she has something to take care of. Mora Grubber was right, though. The other important side to our business, the less official side, is doing exactly what merchants do. Importing here, exporting there. The only difference between us and regular merchants is that our transactions aren't entirely above board.
Fair enough.
You'll see what I mean by that shortly. I'm taking you to see one such transaction for yourself. Come on, let's go meet our trading partner for the day.
I mean, it's cool to see all sides of this as well, right? Because, of course, we did, like, the fun pirate stuff. Oh, we're actually running with Beidou. That's awesome. It's cool to see all the sides of her work as well, because, again, it gives us another insight into what she does on a day-to-day basis as well, which is just as important as, like, I always say the small things are just as important as, like, the person's backstory. I thought she was stopping there, keeping us on our toes. Where are we going, Beidou? Come on, Fremine.
Fresh seafood! Fresh seafood! Catch it while you can!
What do you have?
Hello there! Here at Nay's Professional Fishmongers, we've got everything you could ask for. So what do you need?
I want a bass head with all the teeth removed. If there's a single tooth in there, I don't want it.
We don't want it.
Huh? You know bass have pharyngeal teeth, right? In the throat? How do you expect me to get all those out?
You figure it out.
Then I'll have a bass trunk with 2 swim bladders. Again, if it's short by 1 swim bladder, it's not the bass I want.
She's being very direct about this, right?
You're not making this easy for me. 1 bass means 1 swim bladder. Afraid that's not up to me.
I wonder why she's being so specific about this stuff.
Okay. Then I'll take a bass tail with scales that are yellow on the outside, black on the inside. Also, it's gotta have a total of 81 scales. That's 7 times 7, no more, no less.
It's so specific.
What kind of fish scales are yellow outside and black inside? You sure this is a fish you're talking about? In any case, you can try all you want, but 7 times 7 is never gonna get you 81. Pardon my asking, but you're not a fish expert, are you? I'm sorry, ma'am, but I'm afraid I don't have any of the things you're looking for.
Didn't you say everything we could ask for? Is that what is she trying to make a point here with this?
Look, I'm a professional. So are most of the people I serve. I can accommodate anything they ask for. Seems you two are amateurs. So I'm sorry, but you'll have to go someplace else.
I'm super interested to know what the point of this discussion was.
Like I said, Nay's professional fishmongers is for professionals. For amateurs, the place to go to would be Wise Amateur Fishmongers.
This is so interesting to me. I'm not sure at all what turn this is taking.
I bet you're wondering why that guy was saying he didn't have what we wanted. That was just the first step in the transaction to confirm our identity.
Wait, what?
The real deal will come later.
It was just so you knew what we were doing? So there's gonna be some real intricate details to this then. You can keep walking, I'm gonna be here. I know we got little legs, but we're coming. We're here. So like this is a whole... Yeah, I'm very interested to see this then. We're gonna be seeing a full deal going on here, a full plan here, I guess, that's been, you know, that you have to like go through multiple hoops to get to the final part of the deal. She goes through a lot more on a daily basis than I expected. Legitimately so.
Fresh seafood! Fresh seafood! Come take a look.
Is this Wise Amateur Fishmongers?
Is it actually called Wise Amateur Fishmongers?
That's the one. We have all kinds of amateur stuff here. The more amateur, the more of it we got.
This is actually so funny that they're literally called amateur. Like, I mean, I guess there's nothing wrong. Like, of course, it's for like the actual thing we're doing here, but yeah.
What would you like?
We'd like a bass head.
No problem. Ours are all toothless, mind you.
And a bass trunk.
Oh, no problem.
These are all clearly keywords then as well.
Swim bladder in there for you on the house.
Oh my god.
And a tail.
Sure thing. I'll paint the scales yellow on the outside and black on the inside, so you can tell at a glance, this ain't no ordinary fishtail.
Do the scales up to 81 or 7 times 7?
If it's 7 times 7 you want, I can do you 81, 138, or even 648. It's up to you.
If I'm hanging out with Beidou right now, I'm looking to her just like, is this what we're... is this... What type of deal are we making here?
Great. I like your style.
The guard's like, what the hell are they doing? What are they doing?
Appreciate your patronage. Please, take your order to our warehouse manager over there.
Don't you... I'm starting to think it's maybe not fish. Don't you have the fish here?
A real amateur if I've ever met one. Proud to have you as a customer.
Okay.
No, we don't have the fish here. All fish sold at Wise Amateur Fishmongers are still swimming in the sea. Once we get the order in from the customer, we go fish it out for them. The warehouse handles that side of things. Pay first, then we bring you the goods. That way you get the freshest catch.
I do love a shady deal, right? I do love a shady deal. And it's just making me more curious to see what's actually going to be happening here at the end of this deal. Especially since like so much of what we were doing beforehand. Oh, it's right here? So much for what we were doing beforehand was like, you know, like we started off on the other side of things. We were literally just helping people with conflict resolution and showing how respected she was here. But now we're seeing the other side of the stuff that Beidou does, right? Like, again, she obviously is, like, making, like, some deals here. I'm not saying they're shady. I'm saying they're obviously deals that you have to know a person to get the deal done. But it's super interesting to see this side of her, too, you know?
Are you two here to collect your order, huh, Beidou?
Yes, sir. We're here about that bass.
So they're acting... He almost said her name, so he's going to act like we don't know him. Is that what we're doing?
I didn't expect you to come in person, but we still need to follow procedure. The bass you want is not a standard specimen. Our fishermen need to wait for the right moment to catch it. You know the rules, I take it?
Of course.
What rules?
Oh, well, as you know, timing and location are everything when it comes to fishing. You have to wait till all the conditions are just right. That means the tide, the moon, and the wind. So, let me ask you this. When will the tide come in?
The fishing song will sound out at midnight.
Okay, this is definitely a code. This is definitely like a code.
How drunk will the moon be before the party's over?
It won't stop while the Star of Death shines.
And she's doing this like effortlessly as well.
I see, yes. Which way will the sea breeze be blowing?
The breeze should be bound for Guyan.
All right, then. Well received. I'll go and make arrangements.
Great. I think that wraps up everything we needed to do in Liyue Harbor. Let's head back and wait for the delivery.
I love Wander's answer. That's it, but where's our fish? You know what I mean? Like, we're just being dragged around on this deal, not understanding everything that's happening.
I thought we were pretty clear, weren't we? The 3 people we just met are our business partners. Nay's professional fishmongers and Y's amateur fishmongers are just cover names.
Right.
The bass, obviously, is the code name for the goods. The numbers of teeth, swim bladders, and scales all represent different specifications. Meanwhile, the conversation I had with the warehouse keeper was the instructions for the deal itself. Let me translate it for you.
Thank you.
Tonight at midnight, the deal will take place in Guyan Stone Forest. The Alcor will wait there as long as needed.
Okay, that's really, really cool.
As for what the actual goods are, well, you'll see tonight.
So this is all mysterious. Is it as shady as it seems? I don't really care if it's illegal, really.
What if I were to say yes? What would you do then?
Pretend I didn't see anything.
Thank you. But don't worry, everything will
I
be fine.
ain't seen nothing.
I deeply value you as a friend, but ultimately, you're not with the
Yeah,
crooks.
of course. But I'm saying this right now. If you kill someone tonight, I'm going to look the other way, okay? Things need to be done sometimes, Beidou.
I definitely don't want to cause you any trouble just because you hung out with me. So rest assured, we haven't broken any laws. At least not today.
Whenever you want to break some laws, I'm all for it. That's really cute. That was a really cute interaction between the Traveler and Beidou as well, right? The idea of like, you know, she kind of like was trying to like, you know, see, she sees how we're not really used to these type of deals and we don't usually do this stuff that often. So having a little bit of fun with us as well, she kind of like, you know, was like, hey, so, you know, kind of pushing us a little bit. Like, hey, if this was illegal, what would you do? You know what I mean? Just asking everything. She loves having fun with those situations as well. She's, you know, she's a lovely person. She's very lovely. We've seen that so much through this hang-up, but she's also someone who loves to have fun as well, and clearly loves to push a few buttons at the same time. But again, if it was illegal, I ain't saying none. It's none of my business. So you have to wait till midnight is the next time we have to wait till. I think someone just showed up there like in like a very sudden motion there. Yeah, there he is, yeah. I saw like the silhouette of someone.
Captain Beidou, you gave me quite the surprise when you showed up in person earlier today.
So that's not a normal thing to happen?
Well, my friend is visiting, so I wanted to show him how the Crux handles some of its important business.
That's so cool. That's so cool. So for the Traveler, she's like, hey, I'm going to show you personally how this stuff happens.
I see. You two must be close.
We have been through a lot, right? It's just, again, it's my fault for not being as close to Beidou as I could be with other characters. It's just my fault. End of.
You got that right. Now, down to business. Have you brought the goods?
Yep, all here. Please, feel free to take stock.
Stop. Nobody move.
You guys get out of here, okay? I know Ningguang.
We have received certain information pertaining to a potential illegal business transaction at this location. Apologies, Captain Beidou, but I'm going to need to inspect those goods.
Oh no, should I run for it? Should I distract him while Beidou retreats?
Oh? An illegal business transaction, you say? Well, all the goods are here. If you have any suspicions, please inspect them at your leisure.
Yeah, do you want me to get... Will I go behind them? Will I go behind them, take out my sword? Decapitate. One moment. Just one slash. I'll get them, Beidou. Just give me the key. Give me the key word. The key word is cut their heads off. The middle I check the goods.
Captain, everything's been checked. It's just a bunch of potatoes, flour, and so on. And all the paperwork checks out too.
Huh?
Okay, you guys should be punished for harassing us.
Everything's been checked thrice over. There's not a single contraband item here. The paperwork was approved by the Ministry of Civil Affairs, and the tax declarations are all in order.
Beidou, give the word. Give it the word, Beidou. Give the word.
Looks like you've managed to clear everything up. I suppose we can put this down as a simple misunderstanding.
Yes, apologies. This was a mistake on our end.
Thank you. Very, very pleasant for you to apologize.
Come on, let's go.
So I wonder what the story of this is then.
Bravo, Captain Beidou. This was rather ingenious.
Wait a second, what's going on? Yes, so obviously there's something else to this.
Seems like your friend still has a little catching up to do.
I know you have a lot of questions. Come on, take a walk with me and I'll lay it all out
No
for you.
problem whatsoever.
Well, I'll leave you both to it. Captain Beidou, I look forward to doing business with you again. Take care.
You probably thought that there was some sort of nefarious business going on behind all the secrecy today. The truth is, that was exactly what I wanted the Ministry of Civil Affairs to believe.
Oh, for real?
What you might not know is that I, as the leader of the Crux fleet, and you, the great hero of Liyue Harbor, have both been on the Ministry of Civil Affairs watch list
Wait, for real?
a long time. In other words, whenever you or I crop up in Liyue Harbor, it almost always draws their attention. Not that there's any animosity behind it, mind you. In their words, it's a security precaution to prevent people like us from causing unnecessary trouble.
I love hearing this info, though.
Oh, I have no qualms about that. They're just doing their job, keeping the land safe. But how does that saying go again? Ah, yes. Sometimes the closer you are to something, the less you can see. Did you figure it out yet? That's right. Maura Grubber, the accountant. With you, me, and a few sacks of potatoes and flour serving as a front, the deal she's overseeing on her end should go off without
She went and did her deal while we did like a
After
fake
all,
deal.
The Ministry of Civil Affairs sent the Millilith to us.
That's so fun. Did you notice that she has no footprints? What's that old story about, like, I am walking with my footprints in the sand, and I was walking with Jesus, and then there's no footprints beside me, and all along, it's because Jesus was carrying me. This is all because Beidou was carrying me. No, but like honestly, like the reason I love that what she said there with like they're watching us, because again, it is one of those situations where it's like, I didn't realize that from the Millilith's perspective, that while we're not bad, wherever we go, trouble seems to follow. So they're keeping some tabs on us in some way, shape, or form. I didn't notice that at all, and that adds so much like context, I guess, to like like it changes my perception of like why we're in Liyue. Maybe that's why we should have done this all the way back then, because now I know that like whenever we come here, the Millilith is on like high alert because we have shown up. Because every time we're here, and usually it's more just like it's making them believe that, because in reality, it's not that we're causing problems, it's just that we come to solve problems. But it makes it seem like we are causing problems in some way, right?
Looking at the time, it should be any second now. Look, that's the signal.
There's a signal now? Oh, Jesus Christ. What? For this hangout? That's awesome. I love the effort they put into hangouts.
Tonight's real deal is officially done. Do you have any more questions?
I have a feeling Ningguang is not so easy to fool. Yeah, that's the thing.
You're right. Never underestimate her. But as long as we don't take things too far, she won't look into it.
She's like, I don't mind if it's like, if you're not doing something too bad.
She knows that neither you nor I would do anything to harm you.
That's so freaking smart, right? Because even though the Millilith are keeping tabs on us, right? It makes so much sense that Ningguang wouldn't think that we would do anything wrong. You know what I mean? She knows her so well. And she knows me so well.
There's another higher level watch list at the Ministry of Civil Affairs above the one we're on. It's top secret. Even I don't know whose names are on it. But I do know that the individuals and organizations on that list are the ones that Qixing are really wary of. I've gotten off topic. On some level, Ningguang and I are actually business partners too. Reason being, I'm the only one who can get her some of the more obscure treasures she wants.
What is the real deal?
It's
That's fair. That's fine.
All you need to know is that what might be easily attainable for some people can often be a lifesaver for others who can't get their hands on it.
Okay.
That's where we come in. It's as simple as that.
Do you mean weapons? Or love? Look at the pose. Well, she's so freaking cool. She's legitimately so freaking sick.
You still have some important things to take care of, don't you?
Yes.
As long as you don't know what I was referring to, you'll be safe.
That's so fun. She's like, you still got a whole journey ahead of you. This was obviously, like Sumeru and Fontaine and Natlan. So she's like, you got a lot of stuff to do, buddy. You know, don't get in trouble.
So, I'm sorry, but I can't tell you
That's
for now.
so sweet. She's legit saying that because we have something to do and we have stuff to do, like with finding her sister, doing all this stuff, like and finding the secrets of the abyss. She's like, I can't have you getting in trouble right now.
Of course, if the day comes when you've traveled to every corner of the world,
There it
found
is,
your
yeah.
sibling, and neatly tied up all your loose ends along
Holy
the way.
hell!
You're welcome to come back here, and I'll tell you
That
all
is
about
so
it.
sweet.
You'll always be welcome in the Crux fleet. I hope I get to see you on board again someday.
That is so sweet. Such an amazing photo as well. Once everything is over, Beidou hopes to see you on board again someday again. The reason why that's so sweet is because I kind of got that idea that like she was kind of protecting us. She wanted us to see what she was doing, but at the same time also protecting us from any dangers that could happen to us as well. To get caught up with the middle of that in some illegal way. As you said, Ningguang will turn a blind eye to us and her as well because she knows we won't do anything wrong. But there's also this thing of like, if it does go too far and it has like very public legal ramifications, we will probably have to like come back to Liyue. You know what I mean? We would have to like, talk to Ningguang in some way. And Beidou was so sweet. She remembers stuff about her sister and she remembers stuff about like our journey. And she's like, once you finish that, then we can get into some illegal stuff. Once all that's done, come back and we can do some illegal stuff whenever you want. That is so freaking sweet. And that quest as well, I guess like it was just showing like a different side once again to Beidou, in a way of just showing like then she's not just like a conflict resolution. She's not just a great leader. She's not just someone who like is doing all this conflict resolution as someone who's like well respected. She's also someone who has to handle a lot of nitty gritty stuff at the same time too, and is very smart to handle this stuff also at the same time. Also learning as well that we are like being watched by the Millet sometimes. It's super interesting, super interesting. This is my favorite idle animation I think maybe in the game. I absolutely adore it. I think like Seed Lolly's idle animations are really like adorable too. But yeah, like this is just like so Fremine as well. Let's go on with the next portion of this as well. I guess we're gonna be talking to these guys again,
Chief Mate
skipping
chooses
through
breaking-
this, seeing where we're going with this now. The shield.
As I expected, you have a will to protect others.
So this is gonna be entirely different
There are
then.
two main subjects that the Shield of the Crux focuses on: survival knowledge and entertainment.
Entertainment.
As I was saying earlier, survival knowledge includes prevention of injuries and diseases at sea, navigation and cartography, basic meteorology, etc.
Okay.
You can go learn about these skills from Yinxing, Huixing, and Liushi. They're all seasoned hands in their respective fields.
I thought I would be learning from you, Captain. There are crewmates who know even more than you, Captain. I'm gonna say this.
Each sailor has their own strengths and weaknesses. I'm no rookie, of course, but you shouldn't underestimate the knowledge of
I
the
definitely
crew.
wasn't underestimating them, but I also didn't want to like, pretend that people knew more than you in this situation because I didn't know that.
If there's anything I'm most proud of in the fleet, it's my people. Go and get to work. I'll have some questions to test you later. I look forward to seeing how you do.
This should be interesting though, right? Talking to different crew members? So this is the first one we have to talk to as well. Okay, I'm actually kind of excited to see
Hello,
this.
traveler. I'm Yinxing, the Crux's surgeon at sea.
The Crux surgeon.
Whenever a sailor has a health problem, they come to me. I deal with it all, from seasickness and common colds to amputations and everything in between.
I'd like to learn about treating injuries and illnesses at the sea.
Oh, I presume the captain arranged this, correct? All right then, let's begin. First of all, let me ask you this. What do you think is the biggest danger that all new crew members face?
Catching a cold, maybe? Cat getting seasick? Losing a limb? I think maybe, I want to say catching a cold, but maybe it's getting seasick?
That can certainly be a problem at sea, but it's not the biggest danger. The most dangerous thing for a newcomer is to underestimate the dangers of life at
Right.
sea.
You always hear that term, right? The idea of respecting the ocean. Like you have to have respect for it because it can It is dangerous. It's very dangerous.
I have seen many new crew members who see themselves as young and fighting fit and have no regard for safety. They think that since they are tough enough to look after themselves on land, they'll be fine at sea as well. Those are the ones that always end up in the sick bay. Everyone should know that being a sailor, especially on a long voyage, is a brutal job in an unforgiving environment.
That's why people like watching those fishing shows, right? Where they do like I don't know what they're called. Is it Deadliest Catch? People used to love those shows because it is like it's something that like, you know, people probably don't want to do because it is so dangerous. But like they love living through other people and seeing this stuff. It is a dangerous job. And imagine even, you know, less safety stuff back in this quote unquote era, I suppose.
We have to face malnutrition when we're short on supplies. All kinds of injuries and diseases that the harsh ocean weather can bring. And even the psychological problems that can arise due to isolation and the lack of entertainment. To make things worse, the lack of medication and treatment options at sea can result in even minor health problems becoming serious, or even fatal.
Yeah, you're talking. Yeah, especially since like you need medical attention as soon as possible. Hence the need for amputations.
Oh, you probably thought I was joking, right? Well, that's not surprising. Most newcomers think the same way. But hopefully you now realize that with a little extra precaution, a lot of these things can be avoided.
Hopefully.
Well, I think that's enough for you to think over for now.
It's actually really interesting, like, hearing about this stuff, though, right?
Is there anything else you would like to know?
What's Beidou's view on this? What happens to crew members who have limbs amputated? That's actually, it's so interesting. I would like to hear about this, too.
Are you concerned about them? No wonder Captain Beidou thinks you're different. There must be more to you than just your strength.
I just think it's rather interesting because, of course, then, like, that's their whole life. And, like, you know, again, by the way, I want to make it clear. If you have an injury of some kind, like either amputation or something like that, you deserve a normal life. And I'm hoping that's why I kind of want to know. I hope they still have, like, a life that they love and stuff, because they deserve that. Everyone deserves a quality of life. Your life isn't over. And I hope that they know that.
If you can convince Mora Grubber to show you the books, you'll see there is a regular fixed cost titled Convalescence Payments and Incapacity Support for Injured Crew Members. Regardless of the fleet's income, those who have fought alongside us will certainly receive their compensation every year.
That is fantastic.
Some of those that have returned to land have started small businesses, while others have chosen to go out traveling the world.
No, legitimately, this is so amazing to hear. This is incredible.
The money is intended to allow them to live their lives as freely as possible. I'm sure being based on land helps a lot with that too.
100%, and that's the thing. It's about, like, you know, as I said, they deserve a quality life as well. They deserve to be happy as well. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just that your life isn't over at this point either. I think it really is one of those situations where, like, I'm so glad to hear that they're still getting compensation for this stuff as well, because obviously the injury did happen on the job.
Still, we can't pretend like it solves everything. They call them life-changing injuries for a reason, you know? But if nothing else, it's good to know that while Captain Beidou is in charge of the Crux, no one will get forgotten. Is there anything else you would like to know?
What's Beidou's view on this?
Captain Beidou? Well, out of everyone I've met, she probably values people's lives and safety the most. Although I'm just a doctor, Beidou has given me the full authority to send any newcomers who I don't see as fit for service off the ship until they are ready to come back with the right attitude.
It's honestly sounds like they're doing a lot with safety here, right? They're doing so much to do with safety here, and that's fantastic.
Every time we're stocking up before a voyage,
and care for their
medicine takes top priority.
Members.
I'm even allowed to choose the suppliers, regardless of the price. We have adequate budget for medical expenses.
Fantastic. Absolutely. I love hearing all this.
Do you know what Mora Grubber, our bookkeeper, calls this? A significant financial risk. But Beidou knows the importance of having a healthy crew. That's why she has authorized me regardless. She places her full trust in me and believes that I can solve these problems. Of course, I have proven her right. So, to answer your question, that's how she thinks.
They're just, like, I went from, like, not knowing Beidou as much as the other characters to absolutely adoring her so quickly.
Anything else you would like to know?
That's fantastic. Thank you so much for letting me know.
My pleasure. Okay, let's leave it there then. Be sure to take good care of your health.
Thank you. That's one of the biggest worries I had when we were doing this, right? When we were talking about this and they talk about the idea of amputations. And again, because here's the thing, I don't want to ever be like, like, this is something that does happen, right? This is something that does happen to people. And as I've said this in so many playthroughs, and it goes without saying sometimes, you deserve to have a quality of life and your life isn't over. You know what I mean? If you were treated properly and the world treats you properly, right? Which it should. The fact that they compensate them for the work that they can no longer do, that in most cases they probably do want to do, but they can't do, and they can still live a fulfilling life. It just makes me love this ship even more. That is absolutely fantastic. So where are we going with this? Up here?
Sorry about earlier, Traveler.
Earlier?
We were so caught up on getting you to join the fleet that we didn't notice we were going a little overboard.
Jesus, don't worry about it.
Good thing the captain stepped in.
It's okay. I was hoping to learn a little more about cartography.
Oh.
Yeah, don't worry about
Well, in
that
that
whatsoever.
case, you have come to the right person. I'm not just blowing smoke. You're looking at the most talented navigator in Liyue Harbor.
It was actually like, I would say that, like, while she's saying that it is something that, like, she taught annoyed us, I found it to be very adorable in a way,
I'll start by introducing some chart reading essentials for new sailors. Feel free to interrupt if you have any questions. Let's start with what to look for when you get a set of complicated charts. First, you should always look at any indicated shorelines, islands or reefs, water depths, hydrological conditions, and other hazards.
Okay.
With these features in mind, you can answer the basic question of, can I chart a safe course through this area?
And again, this is such an important part of sailing.
Visually, nautical charts are a little unique. Unlike land maps, most charts do not have a fixed scale, which means that it can be hard to precisely determine the exact distance between 2 points. The most advanced nautical charts come with a supplementary chart, which has different colored lines marked on it to indicate distances.
And, like, while this is something that, like, I never think about, right? I never think about cartography all the time. Like, I love hearing about this from people that are so... And it's same with any passion, really. I love hearing about people's passions. But, like, from this perspective as well, like, it's like, this is something, like, just like, it's so important to this ship. Just like the medical stuff is so important to the ship. Like, you really get to see the nitty-gritty of how everything is run. Which, as I always said, like, it's not just backstories that are important. It's also the little stuff,
It's worth mentioning that under my direction, the crux is using these advanced kinds of charts. Some cartographers mark out other points of interest on their charts, usually with their own special symbols. If they don't leave any accompanying notes, they can be very difficult to interpret.
So, for example, charts inherited from a previous navigator, which is really cool.
Not only those, we have tattered and torn charts that we've picked
so
up from
cool.
all over the place.
They're just picking up these charts from here or there and interpreting them then?
To be honest, it can be quite a challenge, even for me. Some of these charts are really old and have symbols that I've never seen before.
Yeah, no, I'm so like in love with hearing this stuff.
But if we don't decipher them, we will certainly miss many secrets of the sea.
I want to go on a trip with these guys right now. They're all so cool, every one of them.
Fortunately, we have the captain with us. She managed to find some ancient books on semiotics that I can use to study the charts further.
Beautiful.
I don't think anyone other than our captain could manage to get these kinds of resources. Old charts and ancient books on semiotics are not the kinds of things that are sold in your average marketplace. Oops, I've gotten off topic.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Please, keep going.
Well, that just about covers the basics of chart reading. Is there anything else you would like to know, Traveler?
Do you have any experience in drafting nautical charts? No, but, like, can I just say as well, like, again, this is stuff I'm not, if I was looking at charts, yes, I could probably, like, understand the basics of it. But there's so much that goes into that navigation stuff. And again, charting a safe course. That's such a big deal because if you take the wrong move while sailing, I'm assuming that, like, it can literally be the death of everybody. You know what I mean? It's such an important part of this. And I love the excitement and passion that this gal has talking about this. You have any experience drafting nautical charts?
Drafting charts? That's certainly a more advanced topic. To be honest, I've only attained a smattering of knowledge in that area.
Okay.
The charts we are using now are just revised versions of the ones left by the previous navigator. So my mapping experiences have been primarily limited to updating our charts to reflect changes in the sea. I think you can ask Captain Beidou more about cartography.
Fair enough. No, that's fine.
One time, the fleet sailed into an uncharted area by mistake. It wasn't long before we turned the fleet around and returned the way we came out for fear of potential hazards.
That is pretty good sailing.
But Captain Beidou still managed to draft a simple chart of the area we sailed through for if and when we explore the area again.
Oh my god. She's just perfect, ain't she?
Incredible, isn't it? I was amazed to see that the captain could even do cartography.
I wouldn't usually ask this question. Why does she need you as a navigator, right? But like, I guess we're asking it.
Because I have the talent, and she doesn't want to let it go to waste. She treats the whole crew that way.
My heart is full.
I initially had this
My
same
heart is
question
full.
myself. After all, in many fleets, the captain also works as a navigator. I couldn't understand her reasoning at the time, so I asked her. She just laughed and told me to wise up, saying that even Rex Lapis never fights alone.
And that's like such a, again, that follows not only her usual values of how Beidou sees life, which is the idea of like, you know, the favor stuff or like having those connections, having other people help you out, prop you up. But also like, it's just such a great expression because she also like when she hired those treasure hoarders, you know what I mean? It's the idea of not letting good talent go to waste, not letting, people's talents go to waste. And even now, like, you know, like hiring someone because she knows they could be of some use in some area. I think it's just such a beautiful thing that like she is like helping people like find a purpose, get a job, all this stuff, but also at the same time, you know, nurturing those talents and making them feel this good about themselves.
She wants everyone on board to master their role so that the crux is not floating on her alone.
Great. That makes sense.
That way, if the day ever comes when she's no longer with the fleet, we will still be able to sail onward without her.
That's such a beautiful sentiment.
Captain Beidou may seem aloof and even act careless sometimes, but the truth is that she's very considerate of everyone on board. Is there anything else you would like to know,
That's
Traveler?
perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you.
My pleasure. A friend of Captain Beidou is a friend of mine.
Same to you. Same to you. This is amazing. Like, it's so crazy that we had a really fun, like, this is probably the most quiet of the routes we've taken so far. It's just us learning information, and for some reason, it's like my favorite. It's like, there's such a fun aspect to it, like, and like, such a, like, the information that we're getting from this too. Whereabouts are we going here?
The waves are as calm as always.
How'd you get up there? How'd he get up there? You have to climb all the way up? Just such, yeah, the information of it's actually like really, really fun too. And like I've said it, you know, a million times before in videos, like listening to people talk about their passions is like a really big passion of mine as well. And it's maybe because like I probably am that person who does like, you know, talk too much about the stuff that I like. When I love something, you'll hear me talk about it nonstop. So like I try to like, if I'm going to do that, I always try to leave an opening in my heart for other people's passions as well. So I'm not like, you know, it's as like, you know, returning the favor, as Beidou was saying, you know, if I'm gonna listen to people, if people are gonna listen to me talk about my passions, then I'm definitely gonna listen to other people talking about their passions as well. So you have to climb up that rope there as well. This is so cool. Genshin's gorgeous, isn't it? What the hell? Hey, yeah. Okay, there we go. Gain back some stamina. It's okay. I have a fear of heights. So I actually loved going up to high places in video games. It actually gives me like great joy because I can't do it in real life, you know? My job is being high up. Okay, do you do anything else? Yeah, I do high up stuff. Sometimes I shout at the boards. Do you do anything? Yeah, so I shout at the boards and sometimes I tell them to get a job. One time? It's okay. You can just tell me what your job is.
Hello, traveler. Are you here to learn about marine meteorology?
Yes. How did you know?
In my line of work, I've got to have a pair of sharp eyes. I saw the captain showing you around the training grounds, and then you went to see Yingxing and Huixing. So I figured that she probably wants you to get to know the life of a crew member.
That's really cool. That's really cool that like he like picked up on that, right? Kind of showing maybe how good he is at his job as well. You have a real knack for your work. Looks like Beidou, yeah, they would say this.
Okay, let's get started. First, I'll introduce you to the basics of meteorology. Marine meteorology basically means keeping tabs on the weather as well as other ocean phenomena. So things like sea fog, storm surges, water spouts, and so on.
Okay.
These are all potential threats to safe navigation. Luckily, whatever weather might be coming up, there's always some kind of sign that gives it away in advance. Take water spouts, for example. They're caused by high-speed rotating winds on the surface of the ocean. They can engulf large ships and do immense damage.
This is also, again, showing another important aspect of this, like, you know, and you see it in, like, pirate movies sometimes as well, where, like, there's one person who legitimately is watching out for storms, and it seems like he's just doing nothing, like, you know, just standing there, but he'll be the first person to shout and warn everybody, you know, about everything, you know?
But if you know that water spouts can only form in an environment with high temperature, high humidity, and large clouds, then you can be well prepared. You will be even more alert if you also know that the presence of winds blowing in opposite directions, with a significant difference in speed, is a direct precursor to the formation of waterspouts. And most importantly, if you spot a small white vortex emerging from the clouds, you should immediately notify the crew to steer clear of what's ahead. So there you go. Those are the warning signs of waterspouts. I am proud to say that over the years, I haven't let a single one sneak up on my watch.
It just shows as well, like, again, that, like, Beidou was the star of the ship, right? But now we're seeing that this is a ship that's run in so many different parts with so many talented people. You must have sharp eyesight.
Well, I'm good at reading the sea, but I'm not as good as the captain when it comes to reading people.
Okay.
Do you know the small fishing village next to Wangshuin? I heard that when Captain was a kid, she worked there fishing with the adults. Later, she made her way to the harbor where she struggled to make a living. Managing to survive in an environment like that as a kid is solid proof of the captain's capabilities.
Yeah, and it's probably like where she got a lot of life experience and probably why she is so good with dealing with people now as well, right? This is incredible to hear about. Like, first of all, the idea of struggle. I'm sorry, I'm reading through this again. Just like she's struggling to make a living already is like something that would, like, you know, it's something that shouldn't happen, right? But it does show like her dedication and like how much she had to actually go through to work to do this, right? And again, as a kid, surviving in that as well, like you do. There is again. I'm not. This is not good, by the way. A kid should never be in this situation. But what's going to happen is they're either going to come out of this like being the you know, toughest nails, or they're going to come out of it like, you know, in a very horrible situation as well. That can definitely happen. There's no doubt about that whatsoever. But like, I wonder, how do I say it with this as well, if this situation that she was in made her very sympathetic to other people's plights and other people's struggles as well, you know, which definitely can happen too.
If it wasn't for her, I never would have dreamed of taking this job. She gave me confidence and told me I could do it.
Heck yeah. That's, again, we're seeing how she inspired people as well, you know?
You may not have heard, but I'm best known outside the Crux fleet for a slightly infamous story involving me, third round knockout, and a few too many.
Third round knockout?
Who would ever have thought that the rookie sailor who fell drunk into the sea and became a laughingstock among their now former crewmates would then go on to become a lookout for the Crux? But it's the unbelievable truth. It proves that having skills alone is not enough.
Yeah.
You need someone like the captain who is a good judge of character.
Thanks for all your time. I think I've learned a lot now too. Yeah, and we're learning from this as well, from this conversation here, the way he's talking about this at the same time. It's like, you know, like this is a failure on his part, something that didn't go his way. And now he is in a position where he's in a way better place. And we saw that with the people who were, with the treasure hoarders, giving people a new perspective on life, giving a new way of living, you know? Even people who are injured on our ship are going on to live fulfilling lives. Beidou is like changing people's lives. I went from like literally like 2.5 hours ago, I was like, oh, she's like a really cool pirate, you know what I mean? And now we learned not only is she just like such a fantastic, like, you know, a reliable person, she's also just someone who has like changed people's lives forever. Thank you for your time. I think I've learned all I need to know. Need for now.
Find me anytime if you want to know more.
And this is what this whole thing has done, right? It's not only like giving us like a really cool, like information about the ship, how the ship runs. It's also giving us information, like, about Beidou. Like inadvertently, like we went around to learn about the ship, and they just all sing the praises of this fantastic captain that they have. Look at the ship; it's so incredible, you know. And I think it's such a good, subtle way they did this, right? Still a good way of having her being praised, while also us getting, like, very natural information at the same time, too. Very cool stuff.
So you've already finished talking to the crew, huh? I thought it would take you a while longer. So, what did you think?
I'll be honest, like, there's a lot of stuff to this. It's pretty difficult. You need some time to review.
There's that modesty of yours again. I didn't think I'd ever hear the word difficult come out of your mouth.
I think we could do it. I think it's just also a matter of just, like, they do a lot. They do a lot. They're very hard workers here. I didn't want to disrespect them.
First of all, life on the sea isn't always plain sailing. Injuries and illnesses happen all the time. But what is the single biggest danger facing crew members?
Oh, we have to answer these questions? Let's go. It is underestimating danger.
Is that your final answer? All right, on to the second question.
Oh, God.
As you've just learned, the fleet plots its route using nautical charts. The charts used by the Crux have additional charts attached.
I'm so worried I'm going to get these wrong now. Yes, okay.
The supplementary chart has lots of lines in various colors for added reference. What is the purpose of these lines?
Oh my God, they said this, didn't they? They said this. To mark different types of currents, to mark special occasion, to mark distances. It's not this. To mark what was it again? To mark different types of currents, to mark distances? I think it's distance, because again, I'm sorry I don't remember this because I was more focused on like all the like everything on a whole that I probably forgot this one thing. But I'm gonna say distances because I think currents couldn't be marked that way. You couldn't mark them that way because they change.
Okay, interesting.
Please.
Now, last question.
Okay.
On longer voyages, we have to be especially careful to avoid certain weather hazards that pose a threat to the integrity of the ship and the lives of the crew. For example, water spouts. So my question is, how can we reliably predict water spouts so
He
we
said
can
this. He
avoid
just
them?
said this, didn't he? So it's the presence of dark clouds and strong winds in the opposite directions, plus white forces and clouds. I think it's this one. When it says it's coming, it's coming. Wait, plus rings of white and spots. I don't think he said rings of white, did he? Did he?
Okay, those are all my questions. Do you want to know how you did?
Please.
I gotta say, each time I think I've wrapped my head around how great
thank
you
God.
are, you surprise me with
But like,
something new.
in fairness, they just said it, and like, while I was more paying attention to the whole thing as a whole, not just like specific points, I guess, and that's what happens all the times when people say stuff. But I'm glad we did pick up on quite a bit of it.
You got them all correct. They weren't the most difficult questions, but they weren't ones you could bluff your way through either. You've clearly been paying attention to my crew.
I mean, they were very interesting. I just loved. I actually loved hearing about how the ship runs. I have a new perspective on you, a new respect for you.
Okay then. Now it's time to apply that endless talent of yours to learning some new recreational activities.
To be clear, wrestling sea monsters barehanded is not my idea of recreation.
Don't worry. All our recreational activities are respectable and, above board.
Okay, above board.
You need to realize that being out at sea might be fun for the first few days while everything's new, but before too long, looking at the same old sea every day and being so isolated from everything can really cause people to struggle mentally.
I can imagine. Yeah, 100%.
That is why regular recreational activities are an absolute necessity. We offer a lot of fun courses for our newcomer training, including
look how dark it
fishing,
got.
photography, chess.
Chess?
Oh, and thanks to Kazuha, these days we also offer poetry and music
That's
appreciation,
beautiful.
as well as communal wind listening.
I'm going to be doing the poetry event very soon, by the way, the reacting to the poetry event.
Each newcomer has to participate in at least one, so that they've got some way of keeping themselves occupied at sea further down the line.
No, it is a good, again, it just seems like she cares so much about the health and the well-being of her crew. And you could say it's because, yeah, the ship keeps running that way, but the respect that they have for her as well is very much real, right?
Of course, if you'd prefer wrestling sea monsters with your bare hands, that can be arranged.
Now you're talking my language.
Well, for today, at least, let's stick to the training schedule drawn up by Juza. If I remember correctly, it should be photography today. Come on, I'll show
We're doing
you.
photography? This is an insane mission here. We're actually doing photography.
Listen up, everyone can go back and call it a day. The photography session has been postponed.
This is like a longer, ending, right? For sure.
What's going on here, Juza?
Oh, Captain, there you are. Well, Captain, the photography teacher just sent word saying that she's fallen ill and doesn't want to risk coming in case she keels over in class.
I see. That's quite unfortunate.
If I may, I know a little bit about photography. Keyword little, but like, yeah, we could totally do it, I suppose, right? That'd be fun.
Oh? Quite the multi-talented one, aren't you? In that case, why don't you help us out and lead the class today?
Yeah, unfortunately, the original teacher canceled at short notice, so there's no time to schedule anything else instead. It would be great if the Traveler could step in as the teacher for the day.
It's up to you, Traveler.
It would be my pleasure.
Great, it's settled then. Juza, let's muster everyone over here to meet the new teacher.
Yes, Captain.
Juza gathers excited crew members, crew to meet their new teacher. Oh, look at us standing there. We're so adorable. He's so cute.
Okay.
All right, guys.
1, 2, 3. That should be everyone. Take it away, Traveler.
Before I begin, I do have one condition. Oh, we're getting serious about this.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
Since this is a photography course, there has to be a subject. We will need a model.
Fair enough. It seems like you already have someone in mind.
Is it you?
So, who will it be?
Oh, wait. Yeah, let's go.
Me? well, we could do
the
that,
nervous laugh.
Or Guyunstone Forest looks extraordinary today. It'd be a pity to not capture the scenery for posterity.
Okay.
So how about we snap Guyunstone Forest for today's class? Then there'd be no need for a model.
Honestly, very sweet stuff.
Come on, Captain. We talked about this.
No, it's so funny.
The photography class is supposed to be portrait photography. Have you forgotten?
No, what's so good about it is that, like, again, it adds another layer to Beidou, right? Like, it's this character who, like, we always seen as very tough, very strong. They're very funny, obviously, but as we've seen more and more about them over time, they also can get very nervous as well, which is also very sweet.
Scenery looks nice at first, but it gets boring after a while. I bet it'd keep the crew more entertained if we got them learning portrait photography so they could record moments in each other's daily lives. Those were your exact words, Captain.
Where are they now? Strange. I don't seem to remember anything about that. Well, then in that case, how about Huixing? I bet she's perfect for the camera.
Look, whoever wants me to take a picture of them, I'll do it. You know what I mean? But again, I adore that she's all nervous and she's like trying to like get out of this as well, you know?
Or Fuzhong, or Mora Grubber, even little Yue.
Like, we never hear her voice like this, you know? It's such a different layer to her.
Seriously, Captain? Little Yue? You're just trying to wriggle your way out of this. This isn't like you.
It's a very, again, it's not that I like this side. It's more just like, it's so interesting to see this side, right? It is kind of adorable.
You are the captain after all. Of all of us, you're the best suited to being a model.
Oh, look how much they praise her as well.
I agree. You were the one who invited the Traveler to be the teacher, so you should cooperate, Captain. Besides, Captain, you've never had your photo taken. It's high time you got one. You know, a heroic and striking kind of picture. We can even use it to promote the fleet during recruitment.
Real funny, guys.
Did he just actually say that? We're gonna use a yeah, he did. We're gonna use a picture of Beidou to promote. Honestly, you know, it'll work. It would work. Trust your crew, Captain. You're the best candidate. Trust me, Captain. You're the best candidate. Because I know she trusts the crew as well. Let's, you know, also say this too.
Well, if you say so. I'm not one to spoil
I mean,
the
she does look
fun.
fantastic, doesn't she? It makes perfect sense.
So, what do I do now, Traveler?
Smile and be happy.
Like this?
You're saying this looks stiff? This could be a painting. This could be a painting.
You're kidding, right? I've never had my photo taken
my
before.
God.
Something this simple shouldn't be a challenge for me.
The nervousness in her voice.
It must be the lighting or something. You've got it wrong.
I've got it wrong. Perhaps you feel comfortable, you feel uncomfortable posing here?
I never said that.
We can go somewhere with a better view?
You mean go somewhere else, then bring the final photo back as teaching material?
She's speaking so fast as well. Yes, we could do that.
Sounds good to me. That's a good idea, isn't it, guys?
The lighting may still be a problem. But I'm open to persuasion. If you have a suitable place in mind, I can consider it.
Where would you like to go?
Just to be clear, I won't necessarily agree. It depends on the place you have in mind.
I've heard there's a fishing village near Wangshuin. How about the top of Qian overlooking the Blue Harbor? Is this like different choices as well? Here?
A view overlooking Liyue Harbor, huh? Sounds nice, but on second thought, I don't have any love for a lifeless gadget like the camera.
Okay.
I'd prefer to be having fun together with my crew. I guess I'm used to that rowdy bunch. So I think we can just forget the whole modeling thing for now.
Are you sure?
Sorry about that. I guess I'll owe you a favor.
But like... Wait, what? What? That is insane! What?
Listen up,
You can fail that. I didn't realize you can fail that. So we have to like
It's settled
pick
then.
a better place.
Well,
That is insane. That's very funny though. We can enjoy the ocean breeze.
well, Miaoguang Shoal is pretty
I
relaxing.
love that she says that as well.
But if I want to enjoy the ocean breeze, why don't I
Is
just
this
stay
gonna
on
be-
board
is
the
this failure
Alcor and
again?
enjoy the breeze with my crew? That'd be more fun if you ask
Oh
me.
god.
So, I
No.
think sorry about that.
That's crazy. I legitimately didn't know that you could fail in this way ever in these quests. Right? Not that I knew you could fail, but I didn't know it was in this way, right? So we literally have to choose one option here.
Listen up, everyone.
It's interesting that you can
Great.
fail in this
It's
way, but I just
settled
didn't
then.
realize you could, you know?
Well, the fishing village near Wangshuin? That place is deserted now, isn't
Oh,
it?
because it's empty?
How do you even know that place anyway? It's tiny. I don't think I've ever seen it on a single
I
map.
once found some treasure and she used to live there as well.
Treasure? There? I guess I missed out on
I'm
that
sorry,
one.
she's so cool. She's so freaking cool.
It just so happens that that little village is where I grew up. Now that you've mentioned it, it's given me the urge to go back and take a look around.
That'd be fantastic.
How about we take this opportunity to pay my old home a visit?
So really what she wanted was not only, I guess, like some place that was familiar, but also some place that was very quiet as well, which I think makes sense. Her nervous laugh. I've never been here. What the freaking hell? It's almost like uncanny to see a waypoint that I don't have in Liyue, right? It feels weird. I guess we could have gone to the Wangshuin and gone from there, actually. Yeah, that would have made more sense, actually. But yeah, this is so fun. It's so fun. And again, this information that we had on the crew has led to us, like, doing a different type of quest altogether. Yeah, we can just, like, literally fly from over here. Because now we're, like, going to be taking pictures of Beidou. We're going back to our old village as well and learning a little bit about her. As we said, like, it was a very natural way of learning about her. Now we're going to a place that we can truly learn about her. And I do love, like, her character is, like, yeah, this tough gal. She's always very tough. but she's also like so like ready to turn something down if it makes her uncomfortable there. She was just like, yeah, I'm not doing this. And her nervousness about her just makes her even more fun to me. It just shows she's a real person, right? I've literally never been here, have I? And it's such a beautiful spot as well. That's crazy, man. I would have thought I'd been to everywhere because there's even a sea. And you know, back when we were in Leeway, I was getting every seal I ever saw. You know what I mean? We were getting every seal I ever... Sela? Branya?
It's certainly seen better days. It was never that impressive, but at
Oh, a little
least back in
downtrodden
the day,
here.
it was a lively village and home to several families. I wonder how long these last few old houses will remain standing.
So what exactly happened here?
Nothing as dramatic as you might think. A few small incidents occurred, and then people began to leave.
Yeah, her voice is way more somber now as well, maybe more like melancholic now, right?
Come on, let's take a walk around.
Sure. Whatever you want.
People used to call this place Downriver because the villagers apparently moved here from a place called Upriver.
Oh, really?
With them, they brought their knowledge of fishing, which had been passed down from generation to generation. I learned a lot from them when I was here. Now Upriver is long gone, and Downriver is all but deserted. It won't be long before no one even remembers what these places are called. Tu Zhong.
And what she said there's like they won't be long to no one who remembers what these places were called. I wonder if that like how that makes her feel. Like is it obviously it's a place she grew up in as well, like, you know, and for something to become obsolete in that way. Not obsolete, but, you know, forgotten.
Zhong. I barely remember this name.
Maybe you've been gone too long?
You're right. I was only about 5 or 6 years old when I first arrived here. I was homeless and had to wander around the streets. I remember finally managing to find half a rice bun, but then a stray dog jumped out and snatched it away from me.
And the joy she must have had just finding a little bit of food as well, you know?
Half a rice bun was not something I was willing to give up so easily at the time. So I chased it all the way to this neighborhood.
I know it's not supposed to be like cute or whatever, because again, she was struggling, right? But like just the thought of little like Beidou, just like Beidou running after a dog to get the rice bun, you know?
Then a few fishermen saw us running and stopped me. They were kind enough to give me some food.
Very nice.
Seeing me stop, the dog also stopped running. But straight away it keeled over and never got up again. Maybe it was too tired, or maybe it had starved to death. I went over
this music,
and
by
saw
the way.
that the dog still had the half rice bun in its mouth. It didn't let go even at the very end.
This like determined thing as well, like, you know, it's a basic instinct to want food, but to also to survive as well, right?
Had I known the dog was so weak, I would have let it take that half rice bun.
And that's when the villagers took you in. Yeah, it is interesting because that is like an instinct, right, to survive, right? And while she was fighting for that rice bun, the dog was trying to survive in the same way too.
I could tell they were wary of me at first. I was the dirty little kid who had just chased a dog to death over some scraps of food. But I got lucky. The village chief took pity on me and brought me to their home. That's how I ended up staying here.
The fact that there's nobody here right now as well, again, if this is the place that basically saved her life, what's she like feeling, you know? What made you leave later? You know what I mean? Like this place that is like, that means so much to that as I said, saved her life. There were people that took her in, and now it's empty. There's not a soul here, you know? What made you leave later?
Do you know what the name Beidou means?
No.
Come on, I'll explain along
Please.
the way.
Please do.
About a year or two after I arrived, the village chief fell ill during the winter and passed away. During that same period, the harvest was getting worse and the fishermen's catch was getting smaller day by day. Without the village chief to handle the situation, people began blaming each other. There were even rumors that some families had been overfishing and leaving nothing for the rest of the village to catch. But in the end, they all turned on me, saying that they shouldn't have ever taken me in. They said I was bad luck.
I didn't expect that.
They pointed to how that dog died on the first day I arrived.
Stop.
Next thing you know, the village chief dies, and then all the fish die out. They said I was a living curse, and the downfall of the village was all my fault. I told them that I didn't understand. I'm not a curse, I'm just Beidou.
Oh.
Then some of the villagers started shouting and drove me out of the village. They shouted, "Nando controls life. Beidou controls death. Beidou controls death."
Jesus Christ.
Before then, all I knew about my name was that it had something to do with the stars. It wasn't until then that I realized that Beidou was a constellation. And the Alcor, one of its stars, was an omen of death.
But having to bear that burden as a kid.
Here we are. This is the old house of the village chief.
First of all, already starving and have to fight for everything you have, and then being taken in and probably feeling some relief, and then being told that you are basically like a representation of death. Evil stuff there.
I bet he never expected that the little girl he took in would grow up to be seen as a curse that brought about the village's total destruction.
If you're cursed, then I think I am too.
What do you mean?
The Animal Archon Gnosis was taken after I arrived in Mondstadt. That is... There is an element to that where whenever we show up, something does happen like that, right?
Is that all?
The Geo Archon's Gnosis was taken after I arrived in Liyue.
And let me guess. You got to Inazuma and the Electro Archon's Gnosis was taken.
It was
as
given
well?
away in Inazuma.
Well, you seem to wreak havoc on a grander scale than I ever could.
You know what's actually crazy though as well? That like, if we did this before we went to Natlan, this would have had even more weight, I think, because then like when they'd almost like Natlan then has the weight of us like not feeling like we were causing this stuff, or not that we think we're causing stuff, but like we can say that like we're not cursed, you know? They still have the Gnosis. Does that make you feel better now?
Oh, I get it. You're trying to convince me that I'm not cursed. I appreciate it, and I'll take it. Let's not forget that the people whose names stick around are the ones who emerge from the stormy seas unscathed. And the ones who get swept away in the wind are the fledgling birds who couldn't hack it.
Interesting way to put it, right?
I, for one, have never encountered a storm I couldn't weather. But your journey's far from over, isn't it? Just remember, there's no telling what else you might encounter in this vast world.
I love... Because again, a sailor, someone who is on countless journeys is the one that I regret so much not doing this at the time. I wanted to leave some stuff behind, but this is like such a great pre-part to like Sumeru and all that stuff where it's like this journey you're going on. You keep talking about that journey and respecting our journey and like caring about our journey, right?
So if you ever find some idiot trying to brand you as a scapegoat just because you're the one who lived to tell the tale, tell them Captain Beidou demands to have the honor along with you.
Oh my god, this is so sweet.
Remember, you'll always have the captain of the club to back you up wherever you go.
I suppose just two scapegoats looking at each other. What 110%? This would have meant so even more. It means so much now. Don't get me wrong, it still means so much now, but imagine this right before you go to Sumeru.
Two cursed scapegoats banding together for survival. Sounds like a recipe for disaster, but at the same time, I kind of dig it.
Guys, so terribly sorry again. this has been happening a bit with like I think it might just be like my something like is to do with my capture card. I thought like I fixed everything to do with this, but I think sometimes glitches happen. It just happens. But this week is not a lucky week. My capture card works fine, so I don't think it's a capture card thing. But I lost this just like 3 minutes there, like legitimately like 3 minutes. And I only realized as I was like checking what time I had left to do like the outro. But I will put in my like reaction to both these pictures, which is, this is wild by the way, the flirtatious pose, and then just try to catch it after that as well. And then also like this as well. But I'm going to put in my audio reaction. I'll just put a picture on the screen of what I thought of these photos too. Oh my god, this is so freaking sweet as well. Like again, she's like requisitioning the photo as well. It's so freaking good. No, I love, these are some of my favorite parts when we get to see these photos. Oh my god. I thought we could just strike a flirtatious pose. Sorry, you agreed to with who again? There was no agreement. And she like is trying to catch the phone. That is so freaking adorable. That really is so like adorable. But I didn't think we had to pick flirtatious at all. But luckily we got like the actual story aspects of this in too. We have all the endings done of the Beidou story, which is absolutely fantastic. I'm very, very happy with that hangout. That hangout, I think, was exactly what I needed before we went on to do the Daneslift quest next week. because the Danes of Quest will be insane. Like, let's just be honest with this. It's going to be insane. I don't know what's going to happen in it, but it's going to be crazy. And we legitimately are, you know, I would say very, oh my God, like I was never here at all. I'm legitimately so excited for that. But in terms of this quest and what I think this quest was able to do for us, it was a very enjoyable time with Beidou. But like, I think also was, again, once again, a showcase of how amazing a character can be. If you look to, oh my God, look at these guys. Freaking gorgeous. We got to learn that Beidou, in terms of like her, the respect that people have for around Liyue. She was like doing conflict resolution like I've never seen before in my life. Like, people just would, I honestly believe if she said, how about you give me your house? They'd be like, oh yeah, 100%, take the house. She was able to like earn the respect so much so that when she made up a decision that was to handle everything that was happening there in their arguments, they were 100% on board with everything she was saying. We got to see the deals that she makes within the city, right? Like, and in Liyue, yes, they're a little bit underhanded, but it shows how capable she is at doing that stuff. She's also like, we can get this one here if you want as well, guys. She's also extremely talented. Oh my God. That is insane. That was the final Liyue one I never got. I'm not fighting you guys right now, sorry, I'm made of ice. But yeah, like in that quest as well, we got to see also this, like how, no, it's not about her doing underhanded stuff, it's to show how capable she is at doing that stuff, while also skirting the lines of the law without getting in trouble, while also showing her connection to Ningguang, and also show that she doesn't want us to get in trouble because she knows that, stop it, will ya? This isn't the early of Genshin, I'm not getting hit by a boar. Stop that right now. But yeah, that she doesn't want anything to happen to us because we're going into like this big journey too, and she does mention our journey quite a bit. We also got to see how like she treats people who are maybe like more down to look, and I think that the reason why she's helping out the treasure hoarders, the reason why she's helping out the people on her ship, the reason why she wants them to be in such a good position is because she struggled so much her whole life, and that is such an amazing mentality for her to have. I struggled. I'm going to make sure everyone else has the opportunities that they don't have to struggle. That's the right mentality to have, not like everyone should struggle. She's like, no, you will go through hardships, of course you will. And I want to make sure you're prepared, but also I'm going to make sure that you are in a better position. If you work hard with me, you will not have anything, you know, you won't want for anything is what I'd say. And we got to see that with the treasure hoarders. She basically gave them a whole new life. They're on a path that is going to be so amazing for them working with Beidou. Look at how happy everyone is in the ship. And we got to see that with the last one as well, where we got to see all of the Liyue Harbor, not the Crux, the people on the Crux. They enjoy their job. They believe that their captain brings out the best in them, that their captain cares about them. All the stuff that the captain implements onto the ship, whether that be healthcare for people and, you know, pensions and you know, money for people who have been injured. You know, the idea of like nurturing the cartography and the meteorology stuff. It not only shows that there's so much that happens on these ships, but it's also to show us as well how much that she does and how much that she nurtures this and how much goes into actually like, you know, working a ship, but also how much they respect her as well. The people in the village respect her. The people in Liyue Harbor respect her. The military respect her. Even Ningguang, you know, has so much respect for her. We have so much respect for her. There's so much respect for this girl, and she deserves every single bit of it. She really does. And we also got to see as well that she is like just like not infallible. And we didn't think that already. She had like obviously a very important story to tell, the things she's been through. She's very, and I would say like at the end of this, I went from thinking she's a cool, like, you know, party, you know, she loves a party, she's cool, she loves to have fun, she's really strong, right? Those things are great traits. But she's also like a very normal person. She gets embarrassed just like anybody else. She cares for other people. She's really good at conflict resolution, but even she just doubts like that thing. It's just like she, people trust her so much that even if she thinks she's not doing it right, they trust in her decisions, and at the end it kind of like finds its way to work itself out too at the same time. She believes in the idea of connections and people having connections with each other, and like, I guess how would you describe that? Like the idea of favors being a way to connect people because you're going to get to see that person again. She believes in that concept as well, which is so beautiful as well. Like such a lovely, you know, take to have on the idea of viewing favors for people as well. It's also very clear to me as well that she is someone who like is willing to fight in any moment. But if she can avoid it, she will do it. Whether that be with the ship or anything else, she will avoid fighting if it's something that she can do. And I think that's such an amazing thing as well, because it shows he's not just this person who just loves, who's really strong and will fight you for anything. The treasure hoarder showed this. The way she describes how she doesn't want the ship to ever get in any conflict. All of this is just to make everything smooth sailing, to like make sure their trading is done right, their favors are done right. And it was such an amazing experience going on this trip. And I'm sorry I'm getting like so worked up about this, because I went from like literally like, she was not, like just being honest, out of all the characters that I have, she was not even like, she didn't even factor into a lot of my thought process a lot of the time, like other characters do as well. It's not just her. There's a lot of characters, like say like I don't think about Sucrose a lot. I don't think about some characters like that quite a bit, because again, it's probably my fault as well for not doing a lot of like events where they were the main focus, or maybe not doing her hangout event, you know? Because if you think of it like with Kaveh, I already loved Kaveh. I thought he was fantastic. But our love for Kaveh deepened with the hangout quest. We already adored Lynette to death, right? We probably couldn't adore her anymore, we thought. And then we did her hangout event and we're like, okay, she's one of the most amazing characters of all time. It's the same thing with doing Linny's story quest. You fall in love deeper with them even more. And it's not Noelle and Beidou's fault that I didn't have a connection with them. It's Calvin's fault. That's whose fault it is. And I went away from this going from being like, she's incredible. She's like this really cool looking character. She's really cool and fun. People seem to like her, to being like, oh my god, this is an incredible character as well. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode. On Sunday, I have a different video coming out that's going to be a mixture of live commentary and post commentary that has to do with a new 5-star that I obtained and I will be building. Now, it won't be a full build, but it will be a build in the video. I'll show you how I build things and things like that. And with that, guys, I'm going to say thank you so much to Never Can the Baby Gangster on Patreon for being so absolutely fantastic and for coming along this journey with me as always. Next week, we're doing, I believe it's next week or maybe the week after, we're doing the Dane's Quest and also reactions to the new banner as well. So I want to say thank you to the Never Can the Baby Gangsters here on Patreon, that being Ty4R2, Jamie Bull, Johnny the Banana, The Ghost of Inazuma, Felicious Felix, Buell, Radish, Anusta, Jeff Trap, Lynx Markey, Assassin, Shakugan, True Peanut Butter, Peter Shelson, Heck, Leon, High Casparian, Jared Beanham, and the highest here on my YouTube, Royal Gamer 7 and Blasco. And I'll see you all so soon. Bye bye.